Stand by for a brand new episode of All Things Good and Nerdy.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to episode 498 of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. This is recorded live on Sunday, September 11th, 2022, over at www.geeks.live. I am Chris. You all know me. I introduce the show most weeks, not every week, because sometimes I'm not here. And I am happy to say that I am joined yet again this week by the usual band of misfits. We'll start first with my good friend, Mr. Anthony Bachman.
We're getting Inside Out 2, which means the return of anger!
I never saw the first one.
Oh, you should, just for Lewis Black as Anger. It's one of the greatest movies ever.
So if we want to talk about like inside out emotions, we're also joined by what would this man's inside out emotion be personified? Mr. Willie D. Nelson.
Calm, cool, and collected, baby.
Calm, cool, and collected would be what your inside out name would be? That's like three different things, isn't it?
Actually, if we're talking about Inside Out, my name would be Eve 6. He gets it! He gets it!
So have that album. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Wow.
Gotta find faith in nothing, baby.
Let's all date ourselves here. Well done.
Willie in a blender.
Hey. If you don't know good 90s songs, that's just on you, man.
Look, I can't say anything. I was listening to the Rolling Stones before we started the show this morning, which is well before my time, but still holds up.
Actually, I was listening to that song 2 days ago.
Years active, 95 to 2004. They're not even a band anymore.
I mean, oh well. I don't know.
Wow.
Still, that song is still a good song.
It's a good song. It is.
But is it any sympathy for the devil? Because that song is great.
I know. I just searched for that song. I was listening to Spotify while I was driving down. I was like,
you mean the MJF theme song?
The devil's back, man. The devil is back.
Devil's back.
There's no way that's his theme song.
It was once. I don't know if they'll let him be using it again because it was so expensive. No, they used it on the pay-per-view. He came out to sympathy for the devil.
Yeah, Rolling Stones has, like, from last time I looked, they have the highest cost royalty thing for, like, the use of their songs, of any of the songs. I forget which one was, like, the most one. Because I remember when Conan did that whole skit, he just said, yeah, we just got the most expensive royalty song we could find.
One thing to consider is that when it comes to theme music, because we're referencing, for those who aren't aware, MJF is a professional wrestler in All Elite Wrestling, is that one Tony Khan, who owns the company, he's kind of willing to pay big money because out of his active wrestlers, one of the characters is named Jungle Boy, comes out to Tarzan Boy as his theme song, which is probably not cheap to have the rights to.
No.
I don't know what Tarzan Boy is.
That's the one where they go,
oh, you know the song.
Yeah, you know the song.
You may not know the title, but you know the song.
Yeah. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3. The whole thing. Yeah, I fucking love Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3.
And currently, Orange Cassidy comes out to Jane by Jefferson Starship, which is also not cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on a second. That's Tarzan Boy. Let me put it on Spotify right quick. Let's go to my playlist.
It's by Baltimora, for those that are unaware.
I always didn't know that. Tarzan.
I mean, and CM Punk has always had the rights to Cult of Personality because the band likes him, but...
Really?
Yeah, CM Punk comes out to Cult of Personality.
Yeah.
And he just because the band likes him?
Well, the song worked for him, and the band likes him, and pretty much my understanding is it said no other wrestler will get to use this because anyone has to get our permission to do it and license it. So when he was coming back, it was being kept quiet. There had been some feelers that were sent out to the band that was, hey, we have a wrestler coming back that wants to use this song. And they basically told him to F off at first until they reached out to CM Punk. It was like, hey, someone's asking to use this song. And he goes, yeah, it was me. Effectively.
Wait, they just randomly reached out to CM Punk for
they know Punk, and they like the fact that he's used their music before. So they reached out to him to say, hey, someone was trying to come out to your song, to our song that you used. And he was like, yeah, it's me.
Well, I can't think of the band's name. Is it Fishbone? What the hell?
What? Cult's Personality? That's Color of...
Living Color.
Living Color.
Living Color.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I remember Color was in there. It was like click, 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 click.
Yeah, because he's a huge, like he loves punk music. Like, he's literally a punk from Chicago. That's why he's CM Punk. So, yeah, I think he spent a lot of time hanging out with that band.
So, there's been some controversy I want to address in the room.
Willie, we're going to let you address that controversy right now.
Thank you. So earlier in the week, I was playing Jackbox with some friends through the PlayStation. We're all in a party chat, and I'm just streaming it out for everybody, and we're playing along. There was an accusation thrown around towards me, and I found it very unfoundedly and was quite angry and responsive to it. I was accused of cheating in trivia.
Whoa!
Oh, yes. And if you know anything, my pride level of being good at trivia is woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. And I did not take kindly to that. Oh, they just said, "Oh, you're over there Googling it." I'm like, I can't. It's just all in my head. I just know useless trivia knowledge.
My brain is Google.
No, useless trivia. I'm not talking about good trivia.
Yeah, no, because it'd be hard to be Google, but I am DB. I am a DB.
This is CFDB. That's ABDB, and that's WNDB right there.
Wait, what'd you call me?
WNDB.
What's the DB mean?
Database.
Yeah.
Willie? Well, I mean, D's
Like
also
D.
my middle initial, too. You going to throw that in there?
WDNDB.
Oh, I like it. I feel like a radio station.
That sounds
now.
like a tongue twister, though. I mean, it feels like a tongue
does.
twister. That's why you saw me pause there for a second.
WDNDB.
Well, you could start your own radio station on the power of the
welcome
internet.
back to the smooth jazz sounds of
There it
WNDB. I'm fucked up there.
So what kind of music are you going to play on WDNDB?
Oh, I said we're going to be listening to all the smooth jazz out
Smooth
there for you
jazz.
cool cats.
Well, Willie's going to be on the air for like 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
Up until I say something very unfoundedly.
When you talk to the side of the mic, you come in very faintly.
Oh my God, though. No, yeah, okay, I'm going to stop right there. Let me switch back to my normal voice.
Willie, for reference sake, the front end of the mic is what captures the voice. So if you talk
the
like
softness
that,
was the key. The softness was the key, Chris. The
no,
key.
you need to just modulate yourself like you're on NPR, like I'm doing right now. Welcome to NPR. This is All Things Nerdy, part of the NPR station, sponsored by member stations like yours. If you'd like to be a part of this, go to npr.org/audible donation, and you can be that. And always forget to read books. Or always remember, to read books. I'm not used to working on NPR yet, so I have to practice this a bit more. We'll now return things to our regularly scheduled programming of All Things Good and Nerdy with Willie D. Nelson.
Have you ever listened to All Fantasy Everything? When they do the NPR voice, they do it talking about putting lotion on your body. And they just make it as creepy as humanly possible. It's freaking hilarious because Sean Jordan does it really well. It's like, oh, you're going to put all that lotion on your body. And they just do it to be as creepy as possible. And they know that it drives their sound producer insane because she's having to listen to it with headphones on. It is some of the grossest stuff I've ever heard. They even at one point, I think Sean Jordan even talked about eating the lotion. It's like, don't just put it on your body, you actually eat the lotion. It's so gross. And they do it all in the NPR voice.
So I'm going to call Chris out here, right now. I'm going to warn you all about this man that's down there. I'm warning you. When he tells you to read books, he's talking about the Cannibals cookbook.
Actually, Willie, when I tell you to read books, it's a reference to my shirt that says "Read
books."
Banned Books" on it.
I love that shirt. Where'd you get that shirt?
It was on Woot as one of their Day of the Deal T-shirts.
I kind of
To
like.
be
I mean,
fair,
I
some
love this
books
shirt.
should be
I mean,
banned.
this shirt is one of the best shirts in the world. But
I mean, I
would
got
rock
a better
Read
shirt.
Banned Book shirt.
For those unaware,
shirt. This is my band shirt right here. Plain white tees, baby.
that's the Bryan Danielson special is what you're wearing.
No, it's the band. No, it's a band shirt. Plain white tees. What song did Plain White Tees?
For those unaware, Bachman was
Delilah?
wearing a CM Punk
Delilah.
T-shirt,
Yeah.
just for reference.
Hey
Yeah,
there,
they did
Delilah. You're so fucking far away. I'm just going to divorce you.
I will say this, though, before we move into the news. I wore this Read Banned Books shirt to go to the grocery store this morning and had 2 different people comment that they liked my t-shirt. So that was kind of a nice feeling.
Really?
Yeah.
My Macho Man shirt gets compliments all the time when I'm walking out with it.
Nice.
It's all the time. Like, hey, I like shirt. Where is this happening?
Because everyone loves the Macho Man. Except Hulk Hogan.
Oh,
He's the cream of the crop.
Yeah, so read banned books, everyone. Those are the good ones.
But some books should be banned.
No book should be banned.
No book should be banned because you can always learn from it. Willie, you're about to reference the Anarchist Cookbook, aren't you?
Oh,
You can learn stuff in there.
You probably
what?
shouldn't know the things in there.
I was going in a bad way, so let's just retract it in my own head.
Mm-hmm.
Look, so
No.
how do I put this best? There's a reason people in power want to ban certain books, which means you should be interested in reading them to see the message that's in them. Whether you believe in that message that's shared in there or not, that's fine. But you should be able to read to see what it is and then make your own analysis of what's said. And especially in today's world where they like to ban books because they're uncomfortable with the subject matter. That's bullshit.
No. Here, I'm going to stop you right now.
Okay.
I don't need to read little 14-year-old Kevin's fanfic of big titty goth girls. There is no message that's needed. Oh, he wrote it.
Is it published?
Now we're being gatekeeping of what's considered a book. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Can you go to a bookstore and buy it?
Can I go to Books A Million and read little Kevin's fanfic about big titty goths by picking it up off the shelf there?
That is
literally actually,
you want the definition of a book? Can you go to a bookstore and buy it?
If it's a banned book, no. What are you talking about?
No, you can get it at the bookstore. You can't get it at your library. You can't get it at your school.
Banned books you can't either. So what's your point?
Let's be honest. If someone named their book that you might have an argument for why you wouldn't be able to put it out on the shelves. You might have to put it behind like
or
the black labels or something.
Number one seller. Who doesn't want a big titty goth?
Is this going to turn into the tale of Scrody McBooger Balls if we're not careful?
What the hell is that?
It's from South Park.
How'd you know what's in my underwear?
Apparently, I need to watch a lot of South Park.
It's when they make the grossest book ever made. It's called The Tale of Scrody McBooger Balls.
Doesn't make people throw up?
Yeah, makes people throw up.
Yeah, I remember that. It was a long time ago.
And then they blame Butters for it, and Butters becomes famous.
Oh, yeah, they blame Butters, and he gets famous. And like, fuck him.
And then he has to write a sequel because he gets so famous, and he calls it The Poop That Took a Pee or something like that.
Yeah, I remember.
Or The Pee That Took a Poop. I can't remember.
It doesn't matter.
Wow.
Do you think that book should definitely be banned?
Look, all I'm saying...
It shouldn't.
And no one should read it.
All I'm saying is, read books out there. They're there for you to learn lessons from, and then determine whether that's a lesson you want to carry through life. Not necessarily everything you read is something you're going to agree with, and that's fine. But you can learn other people's viewpoints. You can learn why person X is just effing insane if that's what they think.
No, it was something that Stephen King did it in one of his what do they call the speech they give at colleges?
Commencement?
Commencement. Yeah, they did. I think it was a commencement speech Stephen King did at one point, and he was talking about books that he read growing up, and books that you should read, books you shouldn't read, whatever. And his main takeaway was like, if someone bans a book, go out immediately and read it, because if there's something they don't want you to read, that's exactly what you should be reading.
I mean, let's be honest. In today's world, the stuff that's getting banned isn't being banned because the message is improper or something like that. It's getting banned because certain people are uncomfortable with the type of content that it is. God forbid I read a book that has gay people as the main characters in it. That's why some stuff's getting banned. That's an asinine, ridiculous thing to ban a book for that.
Because it goes against our heteronormative society and other $10 words. I don't know where I was going with that.
It's bullshit.
Good try, Willie.
So, if your school district decides to ban a book and you're a kid listening to this show, go read that book then, because there's a reason you should read it. There's a reason they're banning it. And it's not because it's for the good of the children. It's because of some political motivated reason, probably. Read banned books.
Some handful of parents don't want their kid to read it instead of actually being responsible parents and taking care of their children. They want to take the option away from every kid in the school district to read a book. Yeah, if a book's banned, it's the first book you should be reading. Frickin' 1984, The
That's-
Hulu show
It's not
one
banned, is it?
with all the
It was at one point, I think, in some schools.
Yeah, because it probably was banned in the year 1984. Because you can only have one big name for the year, and if it's 1984, it's the year. The book, who cares?
So,
Who did the book?
just for comparison, some books that have been banned widely: To Kill a Mockingbird, Catcher in the Rye, Of Mice and Men, The Bluest Eye, Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, Brave New World. There's no reason any of those should be banned.
Nope.
What, really?
Is Willie hurting himself? What is going on now?
Because I know why Huckleberry Finn's banned.
Oh,
Yeah, same reason they banned Tom Sawyer.
It's not that they just called that. No, that's part of his name. Like, what the fuck was that? What the fuck was that?
Mark Twain using the lexicon of the era.
Like, why? What? I get it. I mean, I get it because I don't know what the fuck time period he lived in. This Mark Twain, I know the name. When did he fucking die?
I don't know, ages ago. I mean, so for instance, I also
He
went over
died
to
in 1910. He was born in 1835.
before we move off this topic, I went over to ALA.org, that's the American Library Association, just to pull the top 100 most banned books from 2010 to 2019. Please explain to me why the number 2 thing on that list is Captain Underpants, which is a children's book written for kids. Didn't they make a movie out of it?
Yeah.
I
There's
thought they
cartoons
did.
of it. Oh yeah, if you just Google banned books, like top banned and challenged books, the first 4 that pop up are Fahrenheit 451, which is about burning books.
Yeah.
Mouse by Art Spiegelman, which is the Holocaust told through the points of view of cats and mice, and it won the the Pulitzer for literature. Yeah.
No, Captain Underpants challenged for offensive language, violence, and being unsuited to age group.
Yeah, it's meant for like 10-year-olds. Like it's perfectly in line with them. Yeah, the list of books that are banned, they're banned because of people's specific beliefs and things they don't want other people to know about.
There's so the decision to ban the Captain Underpants spinoff, so it's not even the main thing, comes after a rise in anti-Asian hate crimes in the United States. What is going on?
They also
We're
reference
pulled
on here
because of
things
alleged
like
racist
The Hunger
damage.
Games was a banned book series. Widely banned. Let's see.
Well, yeah, you can't have an uprising.
The series
books about
Bone by
uprisings.
Jeff Smith, also banned.
Bone?
Yeah, which may have
Oh.
also won a Pulitzer. I know it won a whole bunch of Eisners.
Oh, that one with the little characters.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, is that a
Yeah.
comic book?
It's
Yeah.
a graphic novel.
Yeah,
comic
that's what I
book,
thought. I never read it. It always looked interesting. It just never went out.
It's
Check
just
it out.
insane to me. The Goosebumps series is widely banned now. I remember when I was in school getting the Goosebumps books in the school library to read them.
Yeah.
Anne Frank, Diary of a Young Girl, widely banned book that's on their list. That there's no reason that book should ever be banned. That book should be part of middle school social studies courses.
Yeah. The one I was trying to think of was Margaret Atwood, The Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah.
Which, of
Now-
course, a dystopian future where women are basically treated as slaves. I wonder why certain people would want that book banned.
Now we should clarify. All 3 of us on this show are white dudes in our late 30s, early 40s with no children that we know of. So we're maybe not the best authorities for what books should and shouldn't be banned in a library. But we grew up in an era where you look at some of these things that are banned now and be like, no, I read that in school. We talked about that in school. Like, I remember reading Huck Finn, Tom Sawyer and Huck Finn and stuff like that in middle school. We didn't read the whole book, I think, in some cases. It was just reading excerpts of it. It was more of being familiar with great American pieces of fiction and stuff like that.
No, I think I remember. I'm trying to be positive here. I think it was 5th grade, 5th or 6th grade, and I think our teacher handed us Huck Finn and was like, "Hey, there's a word in this book we don't use anymore. It's in the book. Don't worry about it."
And that's part of why you should do that stuff is you can discuss, okay, this is a product of its time. Why don't we say this word in today's society? And then someone can be like, well, my parents said, oh.
Oh, and I love the fact Animal Farm is on the banned list.
Yeah.
All animals are equal. Some animals are just more equal than others.
Maya Angelou's I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. Read that in middle school. That should not be on the banned book list. It's just absolutely insane to me, some of the stuff. Saga by Brian K. Vaughan. Widely banned.
Okay.
Well, I'm against people with TVs for heads, so I'm all right with
Okay,
that.
that's fair.
I can see that one just instantly because right out the start, it starts with a graphic depiction of a childbirth.
Okay, I guess that's fair.
That is graphic, but it's also, I mean,
Reality.
well, it's between a girl with wings and a guy with horns. And
Semi-reality.
I was going to say, it's not realistic, but also it is probably the most realistic depiction of childbirth I've ever seen in a comic book, which I found when I started reading it, I found startling that was where the story started. I was like, oh, hey, where are they? Okay. Never seen a story kick off like this. Where are we going? And then you end up finding out like this whole book is the story of that child's life.
See,
it's amazing.
I guess for me, it comes down to don't ban these things. If you're concerned about children not understanding the message or something like that, either make something that goes with the book when they check it out. It's like a little 1-page or a 2-page, but it's like, hey, here's the significance of this, and here's some things that you might have questions about or something like that. And help people to educate and learn why this might be considered risque by some people.
Here's the problem with the people that want to ban books. More education and more information is never their answer for how to solve the problem.
It's because that's how you lose power.
Exactly.
Like, I read A Brave New World by Aldous Huxley in high school. That was part of my AP English courses, was reading that book.
Ooh, I had AP classes.
You know what's on this list? Where the Sidewalk Ends by Shel Silverstein. Are you freaking kidding me?
That's nuts.
Like, it's one of the greatest kids' book ever. Now, see, Grapes of Wrath is on here, and I would agree with that just because it's boring. But I still don't think it should be banned. I don't think any kid should be forced to read it because it's 600 pages of But I don't think it should be banned. If you want to read Steinbeck, if you want to read the boringest story about the Dust Bowl ever, go right ahead. Yeah, the list of this. The books that are on this list, like this is your to-read list. Like there's so many amazing authors on here. So many. The Lord of the Rings is on here. A Color Purple is on here.
I mean, and here's the thing.
Kidding me?
If
These are the books that made America what it is.
If you start reading one of these books that's on this list and you either don't care for it or you're uncomfortable with it, you can stop. You don't have to keep reading it if you don't care for it or if something in there makes you feel bad or unknowing what it means or something like that. Go look up more about it. Determine if you still want to look at it. You don't have to read it. It's not like they're saying, hey, this is part of the curriculum. You have to read these 100 books. I don't know. I'm off my soapbox. I apologize. This really is
like the old George Carlin bit. Radios come with 2 knobs for a reason. You can turn it up and down, or you can change the channel. Not everything's for everybody. But if you don't like something, the answer is not that it needs to not exist so no one can ever have it. That's never the answer.
Look, if you're curious about what some of these books are that we're talking about, stuff like that, go open up our show notes. It's attached to the MP3 file or the video, or just go to bit.ly/ATGN498. There's a link to this list from the American Library Association of like the top 100 most challenged/banned books that's there, and you can go take a look for yourself. This topic here, and I'll apologize to people, is probably the closest we'll ever really get to being political on this show, because banning books, regardless of whether you're right, left, down the middle, libertarian, whatever your political views are, banning books is dumb. Willie's trying to do that math right now in his head.
No. I'm part of the BPBB. Who's with me? BPBB. Ban people banning books.
Here's some cancel culture right back at you, assholes.
Yeah. Don't cancel the book. Cancel the people trying to cancel the book.
The only difference is mine comes with my foot going in your ass.
Look, so I can understand if your views don't align with ours when it comes to banning books. Sorry. That's our opinion. You don't have to agree with our opinion. That's the nice thing here.
Yeah.
Go read some smut. Who cares?
If you're one of our 4 listeners and you don't agree with our opinion, stop listening.
I mean, more what
you
it
hear
comes
that little
down,
Timmy? Go create an uprising.
more of what I hope it comes down to is the people that are listening to us, whether they agree with our viewpoints or not, or have a mindset they can listen to or talk to people that have differing viewpoints without taking it as a point of offense. If you don't agree with our stance on banned books, that's fine. Let us know. Mention it on the Facebook or the Twitter or something like that. Say you don't agree, and here's why. Let's have a conversation. Don't just be like, F those guys, they're canceled forever because I don't agree with their stance on banning books. That's not the right way to, as a society, learn and grow from things.
Yeah, people used to be able to have a discourse. There was 3 topics that you didn't talk about in public because it was considered uncouth and would lead to arguments. But everything else, people used to be able to have a discourse about. And now that list of 3 topics is about 100 topics long, where if you bring up almost anything, people are like, no, I'm never talking to you again because you mentioned this thing or that thing or talked about that. Or express an opinion on this, that, or the
Look,
other.
I have plenty of friends that I don't agree with on everything, but it's more of if we don't agree, we have a conversation. And while no opinions may change, it's not like I'm like, F them, they're cut out of my life forever.
Most of those are just people waiting to tell their side, not really caring what the other side is, though.
Fair.
They just want to say things to say things.
Just
That
read
is a lot
banned
of conversation.
That's
Yeah.
why I'm trying to just
Read banned books. It'll
No
always
one
make you.
cares.
Reading banned books will make you a better all-around person. I guarantee it.
And if you can't get them
Yeah,
in your
the Grapes
school,
of Wrath. Bachman telling you to read the Grapes of Wrath. You heard it right here. It's banned. He's telling you to read it. Do it now.
and real quick before we transition off this, I think it's the library in the Bronx. Anyone can apply to get an online library card now, whether you live in the Bronx or whether you live in North Carolina like Willie, because they have an online library that has a bunch of these books that may be banned where you live locally. So now you could just get an e-copy of it from their lending system. I think it's brilliant.
Nice. That is fantastic. Kind of like whoever actually runs Sesame Street, their answer to like 200 episodes being pulled from HBO Max because they weren't making enough money was that we're going to put it out on YouTube because we're not going to let kids not have Sesame Street.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, the idea that the library in the Bronx is like, yeah, you want to read a book, come apply online, we'll get you an online library card. That's amazing. And yeah, also remember, wherever you live, I mean, no matter where you live, somewhere nearby is a library. And if you have access to a library, you have access to the internet, which means you have access to online books, audio books. You can rent movies. Like, libraries are amazing places. I know the ones we have here in town. There's a guy whose only job it is to go to our local comic book store and buy graphic novels for the local libraries. I want his job so bad because his job is awesome. But he stacks up all the libraries here in the Treasure Valley with 2 sections at every library. There is one section for adults that's over by the adult fantasy stuff, where they put up a whole section of graphic novels where you can go get Saga or 100 Bullets or Hellboy or, all crazy stuff that's, aimed more towards the adult reader. Well, at the other end, in the children's section, they put in all of like the Justice League, the Teen Titans, the Spider-Man comics. They have it divided up to where you can go get graphic novels and read them for free, which, I have a couple 100 graphic novels. They're not cheap. And when you start reading in bulk and going through a series that has 10 editions, like Scalped or 100 Bullets, it costs a lot of money to read that many books. But if you got a local library, a lot of times you can read all of them for free. Well, and no, it's not free. You're already paying for it because you're paying taxes. So go use a resource that you already pay for as a tax-paying American, your local library. Everybody should have a library card. Even if you ain't using it monthly, everybody should have a library card.
Yeah, don't disagree.
So that way I can quit using this cup.
I'm a card carrying for the NRA, the National Readers Association, baby.
That's an organization
Willie is
everyone
well
should like.
read.
I guess the NRA joke fell flat. Sad day.
I keep hoping the
That's what you
NRA
get.
goes bankrupt. And goes
the
Oh,
away.
National
I can
Readers
only wish.
Association?
No,
I can
the
only
other one.
wish.
Oh. Yeah, fuck you, Charles. Charleston Heston.
The
What the fuck's
tiny
his name?
dick,
Charlton Heston. He's
That's
dead
it.
for ages, man.
the
Ah,
tiny
shit,
dick
I didn't know.
AR-15 crowd.
He's been dead for like a decade plus, Willie.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Charlton Heston's been out for a while.
The only thing I remember about him is the Man Show did a joke about, not a joke about him. They had Charlton Heston's dick just complaining about shit, and it was just like him talking about cars. Like, do you remember the rule? 1 car length for every 10 miles you're going. It was just a fucking puppet of Charlton Heston's penis. Just
he died in
angry.
2008, 14 years ago. It's been a while.
I do timely jokes here. Don't you know that shit?
The most timely jokes
real timely. Like as we're getting closer and closer to the future, and oh wait, there's actually something you can buy on Amazon now called Soylent Green. It's people.
Soylent Green is people.
The fact that they're actually selling that and calling it Soylent Green is just ridiculous.
I think it's just called Soylent.
Whatever.
Yeah.
It's still
it's marketing. Make it
it's still
cooler,
people.
crisper. The green only reminded people of that puke green that was in the 70s that no one liked.
That's fair.
Hospital walls.
Well, now that we've kind of gone on this random diversion for 30 minutes and probably alienated a bunch of people, oh well. Let's move on in
burning thing
to the news of the week.
Live from the ATGN studios on the internet, it's the news of the week.
Welcome to the news of the week. It's that part of the show where we run down what's in our minds some of the most interesting geeky and or nerdy news to have popped up here in the last week or so and share with you guys who are watching live on the internet. Before we get to that, though, just a little public service advisory from something I just saw on Twitter. Please be careful, those of you guys on Google. Note to self, don't type BBC Queen into Google when trying to find out if a member of the royal family died. You might not like the results you get.
Actually, you know what? Fuck you. I'm going to do it right now.
Willie, do it right now.
I'm doing it right now. Let's see what I get.
Actually, it'll probably be okay.
BBC Queen. Yeah, I'm sure. That's why I'm doing this, because I don't think it's going to show me what you think it's going to show me. Nope. Queen Elizabeth, Queen Elizabeth,
Willie,
Queen Elizabeth.
You ruined the meme I saw on the internet that made me chuckle. You're the meme ruiner.
Yeah, your meme's wrong, because I'm not seeing any big black cock here.
Willie, meme ruiner Nelson in the house today.
Goddamn right. That's what the D stands for. Meme ruiner.
The D is silent.
No, the D's very loud. My D whistles Dixie.
I was about to make a joke, and I'm going to stop myself. Yeah, not making that joke.
So there was an event this weekend called D23. It's Disney's version of Comic-Con, basically, for internal stuff. We're going to get to that at the end of the show, because that's going to take a lot of focus. Willie and I are going to take some shorter news stories, start with those first. Bachman's going to close things out, talking about some D23 stuff, and we'll sprinkle in some more news we saw from the event.
Right. I'm going to end things by bringing the D.
23.
I just ventured where no one else goes. Page 3 of Google.
Whoa.
Wait. Is that Dick?
No, do you have safe search on or off?
High heel shoe. Oh, it's always off, man. You think I'm going to have safe search on?
Willie doesn't believe in safe search.
Wait. Here's something that's not about the Queen. Team BBC Queen of Spades sticker. It looks like just a spade, which says Team BBC. I'm sure that's what they mean. So there you go. That's one.
Willie, Willie, just know that Bachman's part of Team BCC.
That's true.
Yeah. You're not going to know the reference.
Nope.
Is it a wrestling reference?
It's a wrestling reference.
Yeah. I do. I want the Forged in Combat hoodie.
It's the Blackpool Combat Club.
Yep. Lord William Regal. I hit people very hard in very safe places.
Man, the best thing ever is William Regal flirting with Excalibur every week. It pops me every time.
Man in a mask. I love it because he also never calls him by his name. I'm thinking about heard him say Excalibur like once. Whenever he sits down, he's like, "Hello, Taz, man in a mask."
Man in the mask, and then flirts with him.
Is a person.
That's correct.
Yes, okay. He's an ex-luchador wrestler that's always worn a mask throughout his career as a wrestler, and continued wearing a mask as a commentator. And so he's actually a masked commentator, which is kind of hilarious that he wears his gimmick while still just commentating on wrestling.
I mean, why that's funny.
I'm trying to find the exact quote.
Well, one of the reasons I like Excalibur, he's a funny guy, and he's really knowledgeable. He's one of those dudes that he's also doesn't he name like half the finishing moves in AEW? Like he helps them come up with names for.
I'm not exactly sure, but he also knows all the things that people don't know regionally here for move names.
He's one of those guys that like has watched every type of wrestling in every region. Like he knows every wrestler, every move, everybody that's ever fought anybody. Like he's got an encyclopedic knowledge of wrestling.
As an example, this is from this last week on AEW Dynamite when William Regal escorted, I believe either John Moxley or Bryan Danielson to the ring. He went to go work on commentary. And I'm not going to try and do a British accent because I won't be able to do it. But this is his quote as soon as he put his headset on. after he said hello to the other folks. He goes, "Man with a mask, you lovely little buttercup. I'd like to pick up your petals and rub them all over me." And they said, "We are live." And he responded with, "I'm an eccentric Englishman. I can get away with it." It's brilliant.
Nice. It is.
Get away with what? There was nothing wrong he said.
Just rub it on his pedals.
Yeah.
Well,
It's all
speaking
nice and
of
polite.
joyful things this week, I don't know if it'll show up on camera. Did y'all see this photo?
This
Oh,
is
yeah.
from
I saw it
D23.
earlier.
For those that aren't aware, please describe the
Yeah.
photo for the audio listeners.
Yeah, I can't
We
see
have-
what it is to get at.
It's a much more adult, short round hugging Dr. Jones.
35
And so
or 38 years later.
Yeah, 35, 38 years later, after the Temple of Doom. Yeah, they were at D23. As the kid that Jonathan
round.
Kikwan.
Kike Kwan, I think is his name.
Kike
I
Kwan?
probably butchered it. I apologize for bad pronunciation, everyone.
Yeah, well, it's him hugging Harrison Ford. And so, the kid from Temple of Doom, right, was, it's Dr. Jones looking for the potatoes.
I thought it was the kid from Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Well, it's
No,
the
he's
adult.
the adult in
I know.
that.
Yeah.
I know, I was
Yeah.
making a joke.
And then he's going to be in one of the things that's announced at D23, which we'll get to at the end of the show. Let's get into the news real quick, though. Let's talk about Cyberpunk 2077. A game that we've
up?
ripped on off and on. A game that I've actually played through a couple times, and I really enjoy it. It's a much better experience after some of the quality of life
Wait.
upgrades they've
I
done.
keep
When you say
watching
you
it on
played
Steam.
through it, do you mean you beat it a couple times?
Yes. What does that look for?
You don't finish games, Chris. What the fuck is this bullshit? Are you lying to me? You don't finish games.
Yeah, you're not wrong. But
That's me.
no, in
I'm the
RPG,
one that played Ghost of Tsushima for 4 years during the 2 years that
Yeah,
Willie,
You
came out.
actually finished
Well,
Uncharted,
hold
though.
on. A story-based RPG game, those I get through because those are my favorite kind of game.
You don't beat games,
I
Chris.
beat
Stop
Spider-Man
lying to me.
also.
Why are you
Apparently.
lying? You did. There's no way you beat Spider-Man.
Hmm?
No way. Miles
Yeah.
Morales?
I haven't played Miles Morales.
Oh,
Oh,
you're just
man.
racist. I see how it is.
No,
Wow.
I just
It
hadn't
was
picked
White
it up
is
yet.
right. Huh? Okay, Chris. Okay.
I will tell you.
I'm just kidding.
Did you tear up at the end of the Amazing Spider-Man,
I
Chris?
haven't played
Yes.
I haven't played Miles Morales yet. I'm kind of waiting.
Miles will get you too.
Yeah.
Those Insomniac. Oh, those bastards! They're good writers. Because the end of Miles is harsh too, man. You get to that game.
No
you're like,
spoilers.
"Really? Y'all try to make me cry again? Damn!
All right,
Oh, they're just
so
they're just good. Both
Yeah,
those
Chris.
games are just so good.
I want to apologize because I haven't beat Miles Morales. I'm just
I know.
waiting on the next gen to play it because
Oh, so I'm
I
the only
want to
one
save
who's
it for
here.
that. I
I'm
want
the
to
only one
save
here
it.
that's not a racist, is what
I
Will's
want
actually
to
saying.
save it to be better than what I got.
let's go
Yeah,
and
I
talk.
can't wait to replay it on PS5 because it is
Right.
an amazing game.
Let's talk about Cyberpunk 2077. For those that aren't
Oh.
aware, the game first came out in December 2020, so we're close to a year and 9 months away from it being initially released. They've done, I think they're up to patch version 1.6, which plays a part in what I'm about to get to, so remind me, I'll come back to it if I forget. But they did finally announce the first DLC. They also announced after the fact, it's the only DLC coming to Cyberpunk 2077, after there was the whole thought of, oh, it's going to be a living game, we're going to have a ton of DLC. No, we're only getting one set of DLC.
We're gonna do what?
The expansion is called Phantom Liberty, will be coming in 2023. I don't think they got any more specific than that. It is deemed to be, quote, a spy thriller expansion, end quote, for Cyberpunk 2077, set in a new district in Night City. The first trailer did not offer a ton of detail, but it did show that Keanu Reeves did return as Johnny Silverhand to voice a whole bunch of new content for the DLC. So Keanu is back as Johnny Silverhand, which I'm good with. And in fact, he confirmed that on the live stream later. They did announce Phantom City will be available for Google Stadia, PlayStation 5, Windows PC, and the Xbox Series lines of consoles. Note what I said there. Remember, this game came out.
Series lines of consoles.
This game came out in the previous
quite.
generation with a free next-gen upgrade to the Series consoles and PS5. So it came out on Xbox One, PS4, PS5, Xbox Series, Google Stadia, and PC. They are not going to be dropping the DLC for the previous gen consoles. Meaning, if you don't have an Xbox One X or an Xbox Series X or a PlayStation 5 and you want to play the free DLC, you need to get it for PS5 or buy a PS5 to be able to do it. They did also announce that this game's latest patch, which they're calling the Edge Runners Update, which ties into a series I guess they have coming to Netflix, an anime series, is the final update for previous generation consoles. There will be no more updates to Cyberpunk 2077 on the previous gen consoles.
So glad I did not buy this game when it came out.
Want to get the extra twist in here? The extra twist of the knife that some people got stabbed with?
Oh.
When this game came out in December 2020, there was a custom Xbox One X that you could buy. That was
Which one's that one?
Previous generation. It's previous
That's
generation.
their PS4.
Yes, it's PS4 Pro basically. If you have to equate it, that came out that was themed after Cyberpunk 2077. That came with a digital copy of the game and was quoted to be coming with all DLC included as part of that purchase. Meaning, if I bought that console, I basically got the season pass for Cyberpunk 2077. Oh, wait. People that bought that console in December 2020, now they can't play the DLC that's coming out because it's not coming to their console. So I guess Microsoft is issuing them some kind of monetary refund, not of the whole console,
I was going to say, because otherwise that's false advertising.
Correct. So there is a partial refund going out to people that have bought that console because they're unable to play said game.
I mean, the real problem here is that Cyberpunk should not have come out on the previous generation.
Right, and you're correct. That's what I was going to get to. Like, if you go and look at the Digital Foundry breakdowns of how the game runs on previous generation consoles, you can tell that when they made this game, PC was obviously the original target, and then the consoles, if they made it work, was their bonus. It wasn't developed for consoles, then ported to PCs the way it seemed, because the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 did not do very well in the original release of Cyberpunk 2077. They've made it work better with a lot of the patches, and Digital Foundry's done video updates with each patch, as far as I recall. But it was the PS5 and the Xbox Series devices where you got the best console experience. And arguably the best experience for Cyberpunk 2077 was on Google Stadia, is what people have reported. That was the best experience with Cyberpunk 2077. It ran,
shut your whore mouth.
Whoever optimized it for Google Stadia did a fantastic job by all accounts, and that was the best place to play the game.
Wait. I might be misunderstanding what Google Stadia is. There's nothing on Stadia. It's on a server, right?
Correct.
It's streaming.
Correct.
Yeah.
So how is it optimized for something that just streams it?
It's like optimized to be streamed to your screen.
It's optimized for the hardware that Google Stadia runs on in those data centers.
Yeah.
And
so these big mega $1 million machines, it works on those. Good.
So
good. I'm glad it works on those.
So Willie, I don't know what their architecture is, but for comparison, where we have the game streaming capability that's part of Microsoft's Game Pass stuff. When it first launched, it was basically a bunch of Xbox One S's in data centers that you basically, when you fired up a game and said, I want to play, say, Cyberpunk, if that was available there, it basically spun up one of those Xboxes and then streamed that to you. They then upgraded what is in the data centers and replaced it all with basically equivalent hardware to the Xbox Series X, for instance. So effectively, if I had to simplify what we look at for Stadia, is it's got a high-end gaming PC that you're playing on in Google's cloud that then streams to you.
Very high-end.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Probably very high end, and then if it's optimized, knowing that it's streaming, they're buffering a bunch of the content so that you're hopefully not getting the errors that people were having on their local PCs while playing Cyberpunk. So, I mean,
a lot of Cyberpunk's issues
how that
when
could
it was
be done well.
When it was originally shown off was the power that it required to do stuff was insane. In the data center, you don't have as many problems of I've got a square-shaped console here that I have to keep air-cooled so that it doesn't overheat and basically melt down. You've got server racks that are cooled through smarter, more efficient manners and stuff like that. So that's why I wanted to bring this story up is, hey, we're getting the first DLC. I'm cautiously optimistic about playing it when it drops sometime in 2023. And it ties into a series on Netflix, which I didn't even know about until I saw it now, which I guess is kind of cool. I'll probably watch some of that. But I'm kind of bummed.
Are you?
Yeah, why not? I'm also kind of bummed at the same time, though, that if I had not upgraded to a new console, the game was promised with a bunch of DLC that'd be coming to it that now I can't play because they moved the bar on me after game release.
I'm kind of Mad about it.
I'm already mad about just Anthem not being as good as it said it was going to be, but they never said that they were going to follow up with anything more. So at least they didn't further disappoint.
Bachman, the problem was Anthem was never going to be good. You are misinformed.
That first trailer, though. I'm waiting for, what is it, First Descendant. It's either going to be the next Anthem or it's not. And it looks so good.
I'll say this, if I'm having a crappy day, I will occasionally fire up Anthem just to fly around for 10 minutes because it's relaxing.
It is. It's like the best. It is the best Iron Man like fly around simulator, jumping into a mech suit ever.
For those that are
so forever, then why am I on like a little? I have to land, then I get to go. No, let me just fucking fly.
Well, you just need to get smart about flying through waterfalls and stuff.
Yeah.
The doy.
Got to fly low over lakes, then you can fly forever.
Oh, we know you people like to fly, and so we're going to limit that a whole shit ton. So,
Willie, the mechanic's a bit overpowered if you can fly forever the way that game works.
Plus, that mechanic was taken in and out of the game, I think, 4 times in the research I did. Yeah, they removed flight from the game 4 times and then didn't determine whether or not it was going to be in it till 8 months from the release.
I'm sorry, people, you can't have fun.
No, I'm looking forward to First Descendant, though, because it's free to play. So I won't spend $120 just to get it for me and Jana and then find out that it sucks.
That's fair.
But it does. It looks like the birth child of frickin' Destiny, Outriders, and Anthem all rolled into one. It's got grappling hook movements, it's got the crazy-looking guns, and it's got, like, the javelin suits. So it's a mix of, like, elemental superpowers, weird travel abilities, crazy-ass, like, Destiny-level guns, and then, like, Anthem suits. So... Oh, maybe somebody got sick of all these games falling flat and decided to mix them all together and make a good game. Fingers crossed.
If that's what you think is going to happen, I'm not going to burst your bubble, buddy.
I got to keep up hope. I'm keep hoping for that next game.
Don't
like
come crawling back to this guy, though. It's done, Bachman. We're through.
I ain't going to come crawling back to you. None. I don't even like playing Jackbox. Why would I come crawling back to you?
Dead by Daylight.
Yeah, I'm pretty much done with that shit.
No, you're gonna play it. We'll play next week. I don't. Yeah, you fucking all you people that say that shit. Yeah, I still have fun with the game. Like, yeah, there's campers and there's tunnelers, but fuck it, I still have fun with it. I don't see it as like I have to survive to win. I just have fun, man. If I have a good chase with the killer, just one good chase, I still win because I had a great goddamn time.
That's fair.
Y'all mentalities are what's wrong. You're the toxic shit.
No, your bar is too low.
Oh no, ignorance is bliss. Oh, I'm the worst.
Meet Mr. Happy.
All right. That being said, we went a little longer on my news than I intended. I apologize. We do have one more bit of gaming news. Mr. Willie Nelson wants to talk to us about Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, so
I like how he has to get himself hyped up to talk about Assassin's Creed.
Listen,
I thought he had to wake up.
I've only played one Assassin's Creed to fulfillment, to the end, and that would be Assassin's Creed Origins. And I did play 3 a little bit. I never played enough. I wouldn't even say I played a quarter of it, but yeah. So I might not be the most qualified to say this, but Assassin's Creed Mirage is the new title that was announced, and apparently it's going to be rated AO for adults only.
Oh my.
Which is curiously weird. And the only reason I can see that it says that is because there's one little bit of the game. It doesn't say simulated. It says actual gambling. Which is what you're an Assassin's Creed game. Why do you? The article said nothing more about it other than that's what the ESRB said. So I think that's all the information they have. But how are you going to have actual gambling in an Assassin's Creed game? Is what I am trying to wrap my fucking head around, and it's just not doing it.
I mean, remember, for comparison, there was Diablo 3 when it launched that had the real money auction house, which was problematic in its own front.
So I guess gambling.
Yeah, why I bring that up is when we get to this Assassin's Creed game, we don't know yet. Does it mean that I can basically pay a microtransaction to get, say, 5,000 in-game credits I can use to gamble with to try and buy more stuff? Is that what they're looking at doing with it? Or is it you collect gold off people you kill in the game and you can gamble that gold to try and buy more stuff in-game to better equip your character? If it's that second option, I don't necessarily think that's so bad because it's not a money trap. You're not putting any money that you have spent as a person into that game to gamble with. You're basically taking in-game currency that can't be used for anything in the outside world and gambling to buy more stuff in-game. I'm fine with that. I don't care. But if I'm taking the $5 I have, converting it to in-game currency and gambling, then that's problematic.
Well, see, and I think the one you just said is the only one where they would have to say that it's gambling in the game, because if you're just using in-game currency and there's no way it can affect the outside world, I don't know if they have to put the gambling restriction on it.
Look, you can get away with that shit in the United States because our regulatory stuff is a lot more lax, but in the EU and stuff like that, there's a lot of these freemium games like you can't play in some EU countries because of the way they have restricted them due to how they exploit how people pay for things and stuff like that.
I was like, isn't Overwatch like the only one that gets past all of it because they have absolutely no bearing on the game? What's in the?
I'm not sure.
They're what is it called when you open up the boxes in Overwatch?
Loot boxes?
Loot boxes, yeah. Like their loot boxes have no bearing on the game whatsoever. It's sprays, it's cosmetics, it's always been, always has been. It doesn't change what your character's abilities are no matter what.
And they're also very easy to get.
Yeah, and so I think that was one of the ones where like they've never had a problem with that one because Blizzard made it very explicit. Like there's nothing you can get. I mean, technically you can change the color of your character, which can make it slightly harder to see you in some maps, but not really. It's not like Call of Duty. You're not wearing camouflage, hiding in a bush.
You're not in a ghillie suit.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. I mean, there's no level of camouflage like that in Overwatch, no matter what skin you're wearing. And so I think that's one of the ones where they've never had a problem with the gambling system, technically, of loot boxes, because it can't really affect the in-game play. Where almost every other game where you have like, you're spending money on loot boxes, and then it's, what was it, one of the soccer ones, like it was unlocking characters.
Oh, FIFA.
And so literally, in the FIFA. And so it's like, oh, if you have enough money, you can just buy the best team in the game.
It's like the Madden Ultimate Team shit they do in football here. They did stuff similar.
Exactly. And so those become problematic because then it's like, okay, well, whoever has the most money can just have the best team in this game, and then they can win easier or win automatically sometimes depending on the level of skill of the competitors. But it's kind of janky depending on the loot boxes, which games are and aren't basically pay to win. Hey
Bachman, I'm gonna blow a hole in your whole shit right here. So let's keep on with Activision Blizzard, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Overwatch. Let's go over to Diablo Immortal. How'd that all happen out there?
No, I never played it.
There's some countries where you can't get it, I think, because of how their loot box mechanism works.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So like Overwatch was the one they did right, to where they're like, hey, this is not. I mean, the same thing with like, what was it? Apex is the same way. DBD is the same way. There's nothing you can buy with cosmetics. It can make you slightly harder to see, but like it doesn't change game mechanics. And so anything that doesn't change game mechanics,
I'm gonna prove you wrong. My dude White Skin has paddles, so we can paddle the fuck away from this bullshit. He has a backpack, and there's like a paddle thing.
If those paddles actually worked, if those paddles actually worked, if you could actually paddle away from the bullshit that is behavior.
Oh my god, I wasn't meaning that, you piece of shit.
See? That's what you
From
get.
your toxic mentality.
Yeah, I'm toxic because I get hit 3 steps after I leave a window ledge. Yeah, I'm toxic.
Yeah, it happens to me too. You don't hear me bitching about it 20 days later.
Yeah, well. My bitching about it's going to get less and less because I'm going back on my Kevin Smith thing and talking about stuff that I enjoy. And so I just won't be talking about Dead by Daylight.
I thought it meant he was going to be playing the game less.
That too.
No. We've heard that one before.
I mean, I'm technically playing.
I've played 3 matches this week with Jana when she was on a break. Like that's it.
I'm just busting your. I'm just messing with you. We have in the chat room, first time chat viewer I see. We have Phoebes, Phoebus. I'm probably saying it wrong. I apologize. PHOEBS 1, 2, 3, 5. Elder Scrolls Online has gambling with the crown crates. They're banned in some countries with strict gambling laws.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, probably can't play that in the EU because all those ones where the gambling mechanic, whatever the loot crate mechanic is, the loot box, whatever it is, if it actually alters in-game play, then a lot of those countries consider it gambling because it's like, oh, you can pay money and alter how you play the game. That's and however you get around, it's basically pay to win. So,
and I have found as I have come to realize that I've sadly turned into a casual gamer because I just don't have as much time as I used to when I was playing all the time. The games with those kind of mechanics in it, I tend to avoid. And one would think that if you were a casual gamer, you might be more interested in that because in theory, you could pay to speed things up and make it a little easier to get through the process. But there's just a part of me that looks at that and goes, nah, man. I don't want to. I don't want to have to pay more within the game to actually have the full game experience.
I'm done with MMOs. I'm just 100% done with them.
That's fair.
Never again.
Actually,
it's just too much grinding. I can't do it.
I want to go play the Old Republic one because there's a ton of content on there, and I actually want to play Star Trek Online because there's boatloads of old content in there. They brought back like voice actors from the Star Wars series to voice, Star Trek series to voice their characters and stuff like that. And it is a free-to-play, semi-freemium model. But I look at that and go, there's almost a decade worth of content there. I would kind of be okay with that, which I know kind of flips this whole thing on its head, with starting out playing for free and then potentially paying a bit here and there to get some cool stuff because they've built such a rich world that paying something into that doesn't necessarily seem as bad to me. I don't know.
I tried
Chris.
Maybe.
I tried the Old Republic one, the free version of it. The way that they lock down your control bars with how many buttons you can have on your character is awful.
Yeah.
It makes it hard to play. Yeah.
They limit the amount of macros you can use.
Mm-hmm.
They limit the macros.
They limit the amount of abilities you can put on bars. Yeah.
Who did this?
Who did Old Republic?
Knights of?
No, it's just the Old Republic. It's BioWare, isn't it?
Yeah, BioWare. Yeah. Yeah, the free version of
it. Bio bitches.
Yeah, I had the paid version when it first came out. Me and my buddy Maya were playing the hell out of that game, and I made some characters that were really fun to play. I had a crazy Sith Jedi, I had a crazy bounty hunter, and then when they relaunched it later, and there's a free version now. I tried it, and it's like, oh, you have 4 spaces for abilities. It's like, oh, this sucks. Once you get past level 5, you basically can't access all of your abilities at the same time. You have to choose which 4 or 5 abilities you want to be able to access, which is kind of garbage.
I don't think they put any limitation like that into Star Trek Online once they pivoted to free to play, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I've only dabbled in it a couple times. I never had enough time to invest in it to be like, oh my god, I'm making progress here. I can actually learn about the cool stuff that's going on here. But Star Trek Online is available on console and PC, which I thought was kind of cool. So I was playing it on my Xbox at one point in time.
Nice.
Why not?
I don't know. I'm just being a dickhead.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, but legitimately, it was just because it was the easiest way to play. I think they even had it streaming on the NVIDIA's version of streaming games or whatever they call theirs. I can't remember what it's called all of a sudden.
Yeah, but to bring it back a little bit, what could an Assassin's Creed have real gambling with? What is there? What is in it? What did they see that they're not sharing with us?
They could be throwing bones in an alleyway.
Apparently, they have a pretty cool dice game in Valhalla that that came out last one.
There you go.
The dice game looked pretty
Could be
fun.
the same type of thing. Yeah, just a version of that.
Or we could find out when the game actually comes out that it was an overreaction from people predicting what it was going to be. And it's pretty much the same in-game gambling mechanic we've seen in previous games.
It's literally going to be just like the NBA 2K shit, where so the FIFA and all the same shit. You have all the previous assassins. You get cards for. You pay real money to get them, though.
There's a thought there. Who knows?
Your chance of getting the good ones.
Yeah, I don't know. It could be that too, I suppose.
Oh, looks like I got a foil Ezio. I'm selling for 500 G's. I don't know what I'm talking about.
We know that.
Fuck you.
Nope.
I think that wraps up our in-depth discussion on gambling in an Assassin's Creed game. We're making a lot of assumptions and guesswork.
Super in depth.
Super in-depth from Assassin's Creed super fan Willie D. Nelson.
I've played 1 to completion.
Actually, if you want to meet an Assassin's Creed super fan, that would be my father, who buys the new one every year and puts 150 to 200 hours into each game.
Oh, I thought you
He
were going to say he just puts it on the shelf and never plays it.
No. My dad plays it, and like he does all the daily challenges, gets all the collectibles, gets all the DLC. Like he loves those games. They're some of his favorites.
Oh yeah, there
Holy
were
moly.
daily challenges in Origins.
Yeah.
I never did. Except for one time I was just walking in the desert and all of a sudden, that's a big fucking dog guy. Okay. I guess I'm in Supernatural Crazy Town. Where the fuck this come from?
I mean, there's
Supernatural Crazy Town, huh?
Yeah, it was like Anubis was just like coming halfway out the sand as a giant fucking being. You had to fight that. I'm like, none of this game is like that except for this. What the fuck is going on? Then also the giant crocodile head guy too. I forget which god that one was.
Just had 2 sections that were fighting the Colossus.
Technically, these were like daily things that aren't really part of the story or even side stories.
But
or
there are
anything.
things
It's
you
just-
can do that give you like
Yeah.
extra experience or in-game currency, something like that. It's actually a pretty cool thing to unlock abilities more quickly because you do this daily quest or whatnot, and you get experience.
Not really, because the level that you need to be to go against them, you already got everything.
Well, I mean, if you start earlier on in the game, it helps you unlock things sooner, I think.
It has like a level cap thing where you have to be a certain, otherwise you're just going to die.
I thought it was on different levels.
Like
that it's scaled.
Yeah, scale. That's what I was trying to think. All right, just because it's a alligator doesn't mean it's scaly. All right, shut up.
What was I thinking?
Wait, Chris, are you a secret scaly? Do you know what a scaly is?
I'll never tell.
Do you know what a
Chris is
scaly
lizard.
is?
I'll never tell.
It's a furry, but with
I'll never
animals
tell,
with
I
scales.
said. What part of I'll never tell did you not understand?
Chris is a scaly.
Well, then we know he
that's my
has a
news of the
tail.
week. That's my news of the week. Chris is a scaly.
Which means he has a tail. Right?
Not necessarily.
That helps
Jesus
with balance,
Christ.
I'm told.
Bachman, that's a stereotype. A fucking
Oh, is it?
negative stereotype. Stop it.
All right, let's move on.
Shit.
Let's move on to the last story, which kind of round out the show, which is D23 talk. I know Bachman had some specific stuff, and then we'll
All
sprinkle
the
in some other
stories.
stuff.
Because there was a ton that was announced at D23. So, I mean, yeah, starting with, we got trailers for stuff. We got updates to Disney parks, to Disney rides, to Disney shows. We got new shows coming to Disney Plus. We got Marvel trailers. We got new video games. We got new Star Wars. Let's see. What's the first you go? So Willie said he saw the Secret Invasion trailer, and so did Chris. I know you guys had thoughts about that. I was happy to see Sam Jackson back in the MCU because, I mean, he's basically been hiding on a space station for like 3 years now. So what do you guys think about that trailer where it looks like we're going to see the first like start of the Skrull attack when the one dude grabs the guy and then all the security dudes around him turn into the same dude's face?
Yeah,
That
Martin
one
Freeman.
scene was super creepy.
I'm also very curious why Jim Rhodes in the trailer has a security detail. He must not just
Who's
be a
Jim
colonel
Rhodes?
in the Air Force anymore. Is he some
War
politician now?
Oh.
Yeah. Rhodey from the Iron Man
Rhodey,
movies.
Yeah.
Wait, that's who he was grabbing?
No,
No.
there was a different scene in there though where
He asked him,
Fury
what do
asks
you know
him
about
how
your
much
security detail.
how much do you
and
trust your
he's talking to
security
James
detail?
Rhodes.
So, before you get any further into it, I'm just going to let you know right out the gate that this trailer gets a resounding meh from me.
That's fair. I
Just
think
meh.
I think this trailer, if you don't know much about what the Secret Invasion was in the comics and things like that, and you don't know exactly what's coming, you go, okay, Nick Fury's back. That dude from Captain Marvel's back, and not in alien form for most of it. And he's meeting with a bunch of people, and there's some kind of conspiracy of some kind they're looking into. If you don't know that it's basically a secret alien invasion from reading the comics, Secret Invasion just kind of has you going, this feels like another spy-like story that Winter Soldier sort of felt like at first glimpse.
I mean,
That's not a bad
Soldier's
thing.
good for it.
That's not necessarily a bad thing, but there's nothing in this trailer that makes you be like, oh my God, I have to see more about this. Now, caveat, they debuted this at D23, which is arguably your Disney and Marvel superfans who are going to have that insight. Whereas, and I don't mean this to sound derogatory, maybe it does. Whereas when you put it on YouTube and your more normal fans start seeing it, they go, "Oh, it's Nick Fury. Why do I care about the rest of this other than the fact that it's Nick Fury?"
Fair enough.
It scratched that itch for me because I know what's coming. My wife watched the trailer with me and had a similar reaction to Willie, which was meh. And then when I said, "Do you know what Secret Invasion is in the comics?" and told her about it, she goes, "Oh, I could see that being more interesting then."
Yeah, because at this point, we don't know. For those that are unaware, Secret Invasion was finding out that characters replaced for 5 years? Was it the oldest one? Like Elektra had been replaced 5 years previous to when they find out that the Skrulls are on Earth?
Something like that, I think.
There's only one thing that I'm still kind of, what's going on here? And that's straight up from Captain Marvel, too. So Skrulls are not good guys?
Well, the ones that she was saving were good guys because they were just basically trying to get away from the Kree and not be murdered. And the Kree are kind of like an overpowering... I mean, the Kree are the Romans. They're trying to take over everything and make everybody live their way. And if you don't like it, they kill you. And then the Skrulls that were on Earth were basically refugees. Now, that does not mean that all the shape-shifting Skrulls out there in the universe are good people, because they are shape-shifting Skrulls. And so, there's good and bad in every race.
We met
there's good and bad Kree, there's good and bad Skrulls.
And we met our good Skrulls in Captain Marvel, because that's what Talos was, basically, we find out. When they flip everything on their head. And that's why Talos, and I can't remember what the other aliens' name were impersonating Fury and Maria Hill in Spider-Man Far From Home.
Nah, I mean, trust me, I already knew all that, so I was still just meh.
And to be fair, I think we're at a point now where we've kind of gotten to a point in the MCU where not every content is necessarily meant for everyone, because there's some people like that don't care for She-Hulk. They watched the first couple and went, I don't know if I really need like a lawyer workplace comedy kind of thing with superheroes, and that's fine.
Yeah,
then there's other people that took it to the extreme, and it's misogynistic reasons why.
Let's not get in that, because
I wasn't trying to take us down that path, but more just saying we've gotten to a point where maybe not everything in the MCU is as broadly appealing to everyone.
Chris, I'm just trying to give my opinion without giving my opinion.
That's fair. Thank you.
That's right. At least one of us here loves She-Hulk, because that show is fun.
No, not about the show, about the people.
I'm almost caught up with it. I've watched the first 3 episodes now.
Get your head out.
Well, if we want to talk about this might hit on the other misogynistic, crappy people and the other ones that have awful opinions, but they did release the first footage of the new live-action Little Mermaid, which was pretty cool because they got to see what's her name, Halle Bailey, as the live-action mermaid Ariel. And it's a very short sequence, a little bit of underwater, but then they show her singing a little bit of Part of Your World song, and man, that little girl can sing. It's a very short little sequence they released, but it was really well done, and like the actual swimming mechanics look good too. Did you guys get a chance to check that one out?
So I haven't seen the trailer yet. I will say one of the people who I often talk to about movies on Twitter had watched it and said they enjoyed it, but they didn't like how, if you've watched the cartoon movies and stuff, like the underworld world is like really bright, colorful, and things like that, and they felt like the underworld presented here was much darker and dimmer and didn't have like that bright splash of color. So what I would turn and ask you then is, did you feel that same way when you saw that? Did you feel it felt not as colorful as like how it used to be in the cartoons and stuff with splashes and pops of color?
It's definitely not as colorful, but I could see this being part of the film where basically they introduce the character and then she shows off her bits and bobbles from the human world. And then maybe the underworld kingdom opens up and is a little bit brighter, because we also don't see any other characters. So it could just be a darker intro, because it is definitely a darker sequence. But yeah, I mean, on here on the casting list though, it's just crazy. We're getting Melissa McCarthy as Ursula, Javier Bardem is playing overprotective King Triton, Jonah Howard King as the dancing Prince Eric, and Daveed Diggs voicing the musical crab Sebastian, and Awkwafina as Scuttle. Oh, and Jacob Tremblay voicing Flounder. I mean, I'll probably watch this just to hear Awkwafina do the voice of something, because that after Shang-Chi, that girl's amazing. She can do anything. She's such a fantastic actor. But no, I'm not a fan of those live action remakes. I think they're most of them are kind of pointless. I'm like, well, I've seen this. It was a Disney cartoon 20 years ago. Why do I need to see it in live action? And I think some of them really fall flat, like Aladdin, when you're missing Robin Williams. Will Smith is trying, but, like there's only one Robin Williams. It's kind of like when they try to redo Nightmare on Elm Street. It's only one Robert Englund. Like, some casting choices are just hard to follow up on. But like, I think the Little Mermaid one, this one looks like it's going to be cute. I mean, it's definitely, it's not aimed at me. It's not aimed at a 44-year-old guy with no kids, but it might be worth watching at least once. It's going to have some really good actors in it. And like I said, in just that little tiny sequence, that girl hits a high note, and it is fantastic how well this little girl's singing.
I'm looking at the trailer right now, and to your point, Chris, like the color thing, it looks a bit on the dark side, but all the colors are super saturated, so they highlight. So
I don't know. And like I said, I haven't watched it yet.
The look of it, it's all right.
I haven't watched yet, but it was someone whose opinion I trust on these things that had mentioned something like that. That's why I wanted to bring it up for your guys' opinions.
Yeah, the only thing I think is, it's got to be because I want to say when they first, it's hard to remember back seeing like Little Mermaid when I was like 18 or something when it first came out. I want to say like when they're first going down into the ocean, it's a little darker until she introduces her little room where she keeps all of her like, the forks and the barrettes and all the stuff. Yeah, her little baubles and knickknacks that she gets from the human world. Yeah, so I want to say it was kind of darker before that, and then it brightens up. And so I'm assuming at this point that it's going with the same thing. But I mean, it did look good. It looked really well rendered. The CGI, of like her swimming around looked really cool, and just a little bit that you see. I mean, it looks definitely. I mean, it looks interesting. It looks like it's going to be a really fun show or movie. But I mean, it's another one of those ones that's like, oh, here's that thing that we did 20 years ago. We're going to redo it. But some of those, like I still haven't seen the Beauty and the Beast one. I haven't seen Lion King. But I watched Aladdin. I was like, this was okay. It had some good parts.
We're not the target audience for that in Disney Plus.
True.
Disney Plus is targeting children and families with younger children and stuff like that.
Yeah, though I haven't seen. This is the one of the trailers I actually haven't watched yet, but I am excited to see the new Percy Jackson show because I did read those first 2 or 3 books of that series. I really enjoyed the movies and the fact that they're doing a series based on the demigod children of the Greek gods in the Percy Jackson universe. Like, those movies were super fun. The books were even better. Like, I'm hoping that like this show will pick up or kind of picking up on some of the things that were left out of the first 2 movies.
Oh, so there's 2 movies. I was about to ask. I couldn't remember.
There's 2 movies.
I think I watched them both.
Yeah, they did a second one with the Cyclopses, where he finds out he has a half brother that's a Cyclops because if I remember correctly, Poseidon is the father of all the Cyclops, and so any Cyclops is technically related to Percy Jackson because Poseidon's his dad.
What? Who did he have sex with to make Cyclopses?
I don't know if they go into that.
Like, who's the mother of the Cyclops? Like, I'm assuming there's more than one because there's Cyclopses.
I'm not sure if they're offspring or if they're created. As in the gods like just, create creatures sometimes.
Oh, I guess the Greek gods are more powerful than I thought.
Well, yeah, because I just for the first time ever watched the Hercules Disney movie because I'd never seen it. It was one of the ones that
Hercules.
Yeah, it came out when I was in the military, so I was never around anybody with kids that was watching those Disney movies when they came out. So it was one of the ones I missed. And I've seen, almost every Disney movie. So it's like, oh, that's one I need to watch. I've never actually watched it. I'll go watch that. And there's actually the sequence where, ridiculously, they changed the origin to where it's actually Hercules and Hera having a kid. And it's not just Zeus and Hera having a kid. It's not Zeus going down and just having sex with humans like he always did in the Greek mythos.
You mean the time he, disguised himself as a goat till the husband walked away and he said, "Bah, I'm really Zeus. I'm going to have sex with you now."
Yeah. But
Fucking
yeah, they had
Zeus.
it to where
Rapist.
But in the cartoon, Zeus and Hera have a kid. It's Hercules, and then Zeus takes a little bit of the clouds, puts it into his hand, and shapes it into a horse, and then gives it wings, and bam, he just created a Pegasus. So where Percy Jackson's dad had sex with a human and had Percy, I think he could have just molded the Cyclopses like out of clay from the ocean floor or something.
Verb
and
really
created them.
points out in the chat room, Earth and Uranus is the creator of Cyclops. It's in Greek mythology.
See, there you go.
Planet?
Cyclops come from Uranus, Willie.
Or are we talking about Roman gods now?
Earth is mother, Uranus is father in Greek mythology.
Oh my God, that's a joke.
I know, I'm just reading what it says in the chat room. Chat room's correcting you, not me.
And my balls are your face. What's your point?
What? Oh, come on, man.
But either way, I'm looking forward to the new Percy Jackson show. That's going to be.
Those were good points. Those were good points. My apologies.
Let's see. And then there was a bunch of Marvel stuff. We got
Marvel stuff.
Yeah, we got the Thunderbolts team was announced. So everybody's kind of seen that that's been kind of forming up, been building with Madam Hydra, putting people together. They had them all on stage except for the new Black Widow. So we're getting a team. What was that, Chris?
Florence Pugh was not available.
Florence Pugh. Yeah, she wasn't there. Yeah, Yelena Belova. But yeah, so we're going to get Crimson Guard back.
Yay, the best part of the Black Widow movie.
David Harbour. We're getting the Ghost from Ant-Man 2. We're getting Wyatt Russell as U.S. agent, the off-brand dollar store Captain America. We're getting,
but he was made as such.
Yeah, we're getting the off-brand dollar store version of Taskmaster, which what they did with that character. Yikes.
They made him like that, and I said with a apostrophe EM.
We are getting Bucky, and so we're getting the Winter Soldier in there as well. So with Huey Louis-Dreyfus, freaking David Harbour, Florence Pugh, Wyatt Russell, and then Sebastian Stan, like it's going to be a hell of a cast on that show. So on that movie. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do, because Thunderbolts is one of those ones that's changed along the way, where originally it was villains hiding as heroes. So we're not going with that concept from the look of it. It looks more like it's going to be Marvel's really going to try to do what the comics are doing now, which is their version of the Suicide Squad.
There it is. I was waiting for that keyword there.
People that have committed crimes against the U.S. government or other governments and are going to be sent on missions to where basically, hey, we'll knock some time off your sentence if you go do this, whatever this mission is. If you get caught, hey, we just disavow you and you die. We don't care. And so, yeah, it looks like we're basically going to get the Marvel Suicide Squad. So with the casting of it, I'm super excited, especially with David Harbour, as now it looks like Stranger Things is coming to an end with maybe only one more season. If he could actually turn around and pick up a new show and then continue on, like imagine if we get like a Thunderbolts movie and then we get a series of movies with David Harbour as the Crimson Guard, because yeah, he was like the best thing in the Black Widow movie.
And I hate saying that.
David Harbour as the Crimson Guard was amazing. The relationship between the girls was really good. But he's really good at stealing scenes, and him as like a drunken Russian
his relationship
Captain
with
America.
The girls are the best part.
Yeah, just David Harbour's just great. But yeah, like to see him do hopefully a series of these movies, like that would be so cool. But yeah, I was super excited when they saw that, and just the announcement of all the these kind of background, or I mean not like B level, but like I guess lower tier villains, where we've got Taskmaster and Ghost and U.S. Agent, where they've basically been villains in shows or movies, and now they're getting options to move forward with those characters and do more work with them. Because like the special effects that they used for Ghost were awesome. The way that they made that character look in the world of Ant-Man and the Wasp was fantastic, and the actress did a really good job. The actress that they had for Taskmaster did a really good job with that version of the character. She didn't write it; it's not her fault. But I'm excited to see what they do with this cast of characters, because if we can get anything anywhere near as good, if it's half as good as what James Gunn did with the last Suicide Squad movie, this could be fantastic if it's done right. But also it could be like the first Suicide Squad movie, so I'm kind of a little worried, because I am worried about it. What were you guys' thoughts on Thunderbolts?
Bucky was the thing that I didn't expect, but I'm okay with it, and arguably he'll be in his best headspace. I guess the best way to look at it is, if we want to continue the Suicide Squad comparison, Bucky's basically Rick Flag. He's the guy that is leading the team that's arguably not in there because he's a criminal anymore. I mean,
don't forget, Bucky did, assassinate people for roughly 70 years.
That said, he was not in control of himself.
Under duress.
Yeah.
Yeah. But some people would still blame the gun, not the person.
Bring She-Hulk. Objection.
Yeah. She-Hulk could win that case for him.
Let's have She-Hulk represent him in court, and then they lose, and that's how he gets put on the Suicide Squad.
That'd be hilarious. And then, yeah, this was one I was also really excited to see because, after the fantastic joke that Mark Ruffalo had when he talked about fighting the Abomination, saying, when I fought him, I was a different person, literally. And now we're getting the information that Tim Blake Nelson will reprise his role from the 2008 Marvel movie, The Incredible Hulk, where we saw him get a little gamma-radiated blood dripped onto his head, and his head started expanding. He's coming back as the leader. Okay. And so we're going to see the first gamma villain that doesn't get super strength, or the first gamma character that doesn't get super strength. Instead, he gets super intelligence, which makes his head look like a giant squash.
I'm pretty sure he's showing up in She-Hulk sometime this season, too.
Yeah, he will probably be
spoilers. That's a guess. I don't have anything to back that up.
So he's going to be in Captain America New World Order, and it's going to be the follow up from the leader where he was created in the Incredible Hulk. So yeah, the fact that we're getting more and more references to the older movies and just telling Universal to kiss their ass, we're not going to make a Hulk movie, but we can make all this other stuff with the Hulk since you won't give us our license back.
All right,
it's just hilarious.
Quick, 3 seconds. Name your favorite Tim Blake Nelson character. You guys suck.
I don't know what he's been in.
Just one right answer. That's Delmar from
Watchmen and Oh Brother, We're Out There.
Yeah, he's also in Holes.
I was trying to think of who he was in Watchmen.
He was only in the show. He was the mirror face guy.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay, awesome. Yeah, so he was really good in that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he was really damn good. I fucking love.
Yeah, he's a fantastic actor.
Might be related. Don't know. Just saying. Here's my clout.
It was also awesome to see. They announced in returning to New World Order, we're getting more Carl Lumbly, who will return as Isaiah Bradley, the original Captain America. So the first person they get the Super Soldier Serum to. And then Danny Ramirez, who had kind of just a little guest spot in the Falcon Winter Soldier playing Joaquin Torres in the series, is going to return and probably take over as the Falcon from Sam, which is because Joaquin Torres was the Falcon in the new comics. And so the kid that took the suit in the Falcon Winter Soldier show is probably going to come back with the suit on and be the new Falcon. So we'll have Sam as Cap, and we'll have a different Falcon. So it's going to be interesting to see how they play that, especially if they both still have the flight abilities. So that'll be cool to see. But yeah, more leader. We need more gamma villains. We got 2 gamma heroes now. We need more villains.
We thought you was turning into a hornet toad.
And then the other big stuff. I mean, there was the Marvel game. So there is one game coming out that does look really cool. They announced as what it's the soldier, the warrior, the spy, and they did it like Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, but I can't remember what the 4 things they announced. But it's Captain America, Black Panther, I think Bucky, and then a spy, so maybe one of the widows, set in World War II.
I did see that.
And yeah, it's just a cinematic, no actual shots of in-game play and all, but whatever that's going to be looks just fantastic. Because
they also announced a Tron game in this same event too, which looked really
cares?
Cool.
Tron game,
like a Tron story-based puzzle game. I was intrigued. No, Tron's awesome, Willie.
If it doesn't have the motorbikes, who cares? Light cycles, whatever the fuck they're called.
I mean, because Tron gets you access to a lot of really cool visuals. So I mean, Tron could be very cool. I'd be interested in the Tron puzzle game. That could be fun. We did see the first full-length trailer of Willow. So we got to see Warwick in full Willow gear, having the kids come to him and ask him basically to go on an adventure where they need the sorcerer to help them. And yeah, it just to see Warwick back as Willow is just fantastic. And the fact that they brought back at least one of the sprites, I can't remember which actor that does it, but yeah, him standing there with his wife yelling at Willow was just awesome to see in the trailer. So I'm super excited to see that come back because Willow is a fantastic movie, and what they're able to do with those characters will be super fun to watch. And then, the majority of the rest of it was just a ton of Star Wars news. Disney Plus Day, we got a longer official trailer for Andor. and we got an actual longer sequence seeing Skarsgård recruiting Cassian into the rebellion. We got a little bit of Mando in the season 3 trailer, which was really cool looking. They got confirmation that we're getting Bad Batch 2 for a 2-episode premiere January 4th of 2023. So we got more Bad Batch coming, which is awesome. And then, the one that I was really excited for, we got the trailer for Tales of the Jedi, where there's 6 shorts? I've heard 5 shorts and 6 shorts, so I'm not sure which it is.
There's some cool stuff they're doing with that. Like, did you see how they're doing the voicing for Qui-Gon Jinn? Like, Liam Neeson is playing Master Qui-Gon Jinn, and Liam Neeson's son is playing Padawan Qui-Gon Jinn.
Nice.
Which I thought
he's
was
doing
cool.
The young one.
So his son is playing the younger version of Qui-Gon. That's cool.
Nice. Yeah, the way that they're doing like the throwback of it, because it's more Star Wars of characters where we know where those characters are going to end up, except for Ahsoka. We still don't know where Ahsoka ends up yet. But seeing like a young Dooku training what looks like he's training Mace Windu, and he has a Padawan Qui-Gon, and so he's actually training Qui-Gon. It's going to be cool to see like what leads to Dooku turning on the Jedi. So that's a story we've never seen. We're going to see Anakin actually doing Ahsoka's training. It's hinted at in the Clone Wars, and some of it happens in the battlefield, but we never saw like just actual training sequences of Anakin saying, okay, this is how I would teach my Padawan. And so getting to see those sequences look really cool. And the fact that it's a short, it's not going to be an entire series, and it's Dave Filoni getting to do more of the stuff with his Clone Wars and Rebels characters. I am so there for it. And the fact that you see like baby Ahsoka, like when her clan realizes she's a Jedi, was really cool. The way that they showed that, and then just Ahsoka training with the clones. Any type of training with those characters, I'm going to be there to watch because they're just interesting as hell. But the Star Wars stuff was what I was mainly stoked about, just because, man, they're adding so much, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. I am really going to be super excited though when they finally just break out and give us something. We need like what's it called? They just did it in the comics. The previous age of the Jedi, Knights of the Old Republic. We need something 1,000 years taken away from the Skywalkers, from Anakin, from the Clone Wars, the Rebels.
The remake of Knights of the Old Republic are coming out sometime soonish, right?
They got delayed after they moved it to a new studio.
Soonish.
But I mean, we need something. We need something in the Old Republic era. We need something that's completely devoid and diverse of any connections to the current story. I like the fact that we're going to see like Andor, seeing him turn to a full blown rebel that's willing to die for the rebellion against the Empire. Cool, but we already know how Cassian dies. We've seen that movie. Rogue One is an amazing movie, but we've already seen how he dies. And then the Tales of the Jedi. It's going to be cool to see those stories too. We're adding more character to Dooku and Qui-Gon, seeing how Ahsoka became such a badass. But also we kind of know what happened to most of those characters. So I'm going to be more excited when we start getting stuff like Knights of the Old Republic and stuff that's completely broken from all these characters. Where if we go 1,000 years of the past, you can't even have Yoda there because even Yoda's not born yet. Like I want to see something that's just totally different from the Star Wars we've gotten. But also, we're getting more Star Wars, which is awesome because they added Skywalker Saga is getting another 30 characters, including the Weird Al character that they did on the summer special. And so they're adding in Reva, some more of the clones, and Weird Al Yankovic from the Scarrick Beach Party is going to be added to the new Lego game. So they're giving me more reason to want to buy that new Skywalker Saga Lego game. I'm basically just waiting for it to go on sale at this point because
that's fair.
It's all 9 movies. I can finally play through all of them in one game. And then, they keep adding characters to it. So I'm looking forward to it. And the Weird Al character that they had in the show was hilarious. Have you guys seen the Summer Spectacular?
No, I haven't.
It's another cute little, it's like a 20-minute Lego Star Wars mini film. And it's Vader and the Emperor go on a beach vacation. And is
this a Robot Chicken episode?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
No, it's straight from Lego Star Wars. And then Finn and Poe Dameron and Rey and all them actually go on the It's what it actually is an advertisement for the ship, the Star Wars hotel. Finn and Poe Dameron and Rey and all them go to what's it? I can't think of what the ship is called, but they go to the ship, the Halcyon. They go on their summer vacation on the Halcyon ship, which is the one that's the Star Wars hotel, that's a spaceship that basically nobody's talking about anymore because no one wants to pay $6,000 for 4 days to be stuck inside of a hotel that you can't leave and get outside.
I mean, if it was in Floston Paradise, I definitely would. And only you, Bachman, would know Floston Paradise because someone doesn't know Floston Paradise.
That's too. Floston Paradise. Super green. Green.
Hey, Bachman. You didn't have to add that to it. He didn't know shit.
One thing you did miss on the Star Wars side of the house is Ahsoka. They showed some behind the scenes stuff and things like that, and Favreau basically said this is Filoni's magnum opus, for lack of a better term, or something like that. Like, it's supposed to be really good. They showed some pictures of Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka, but they also showed a picture that looks like it's straight out of the end of Rebels, which is Sabine in front of the mural of everyone we knew from Rebels, but it's the live action version of it. And I went, ooh, this looks really cool.
That, and we got our casting news too, that we have a live action Ezra Bridger coming to the Ahsoka show.
Ezra Miller?
Ezra Bridger,
the only Ezra we ever want to hear about on this show. Because that Flash movie doesn't exist.
For those that aren't familiar, the casting was announced just this weekend, and I apologize, I'm terrible with names. It's Iman Esfandi, I believe is the actor's name. He previously appeared in Red 11, which is Robert Rodriguez's horror film, King Richard, another film he did, and The Inspection, currently showing at the Toronto Film Festival.
Red 11?
Presumably, this means we're also going to get a Grand Admiral Thrawn piece of casting news at some point in time, which I'm also all about.
Yeah, which it seems like those two, if you haven't seen Rebels, you don't know why those two castings would go hand in hand. But if you haven't seen Rebels, what the hell's wrong with you? Go out there and see Rebels. I
don't watch extended Star Wars bullshit. My bad.
It's Dave Filoni being able to tell one of the coolest Star Wars stories ever in the creation of Ezra Bridger as a street rat to Padawan to Jedi. And it is freaking fantastic. And it is a little sad that it's not Rahul Cooley, because for those that saw, there was a Boss Logic poster where he did the actor Rahul Cooley from iZombie and Midnight Mass and drew him as an adult Ezra Bridger. And wow, that would have been badass, because also Rahul Cooley is an amazing actor and a huge geek. Mm-hmm. So the combination of those two things would have been great. But yeah, the kid that they cast looks a lot like Ezra Bridger. It's funny when you cast a person that's an actual person, they just happen to look a lot like the cartoon character that was drawn, as far as we know, based on nobody. So it is kind of cool, and the casting news is so kind of spot on. Well, even though they're not matching up with it's not a cartoon that was based on a live action. So like Obi-Wan and Anakin are based to look kind of like on their actors, where Ezra Bridger, as far as I know, was just created out of whole cloth from Dave Filoni's head, and he just decided, hey, that's what the kid's going to look like. But yeah, so we are getting that. So yeah, it's the Ahsoka Tano show is just nothing but more and more reasons for me to watch it, as if I wasn't already going to be addicted to that show. Like, you tell me now Ezra Bridger's going to show up, oh, I'm there. I'm there like minute one. I'll stay up late that night to where it drops at like 1 a.m. on Disney Plus. I'll be watching that show.
And then from the Marvel side of the house, also just real quick as we're closing this out, they did announce a release date for Fantastic Four of November 8th, 2024. And the director was announced, which we'd already figured out, which is Matt Shakman, who had done a bunch of WandaVision episodes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think it's Shakman.
He left the Star Trek movie that he was supposed to be doing in the JJ verse to come and do this. So he'll be doing Fantastic Four. And Feige said no other Fantastic Four announcements today. And I believe he reiterated there that X-Men is not anytime soon. They are dropping hints of the X-Men and things.
When's the fucking show coming out? The X-Men 97.
That, I think, okay, let me rephrase. X-Men in the MCU.
In the MCU.
No, I gather that's what you're talking about. When the fuck's that show coming out? I've been hearing about it for like 3 years.
Isn't it?
I think so.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
animation, hurry up! I'm just kidding. That was a joke.
Yeah, animation takes a while. I'm still waiting for Invincible season 2 over here, man. That's so long.
Right.
And Armor Wars isn't canceled like people keep trying to tell us online. Armor Wars is still
'cause
happening.
they showed a poster, but they didn't have anything else for that, right?
No,
If I
and it follows Secret Invasion is what they'd said. So Don Cheadle returns in Armor Wars, which is a post-Secret Invasion series. So we may not get a bunch of information on that until Secret Invasion wraps, so that they don't potentially ruin the surprise of things that may happen in Secret Invasion.
So I'm kind of happy that Fantastic Four is over 2 years from now, because that should give them plenty of time to shoot it, and then for the special effects to go through without crunch. It should be. Marvel
Should be.
suck a dick at forcing the fucking companies to do that shit. You're a piece of shit for that.
Let's
They need to
also
get much better
clarify
about their
that
crunch.
all companies are doing that. It's not just Marvel. That's what keeps getting lost in the nuance of this. Is
Yeah.
all
But
of
we're
these
talking about
companies
Marvel
are
now,
doing
not
this.
Warner Brothers. I'd
Correct.
say Marvel.
No, but
Warner
what I'm
Brothers, you
saying is, it's far from Marvel being the only offender when it comes into play. It's
A24?
every company.
You're cool as far as I know, but watch it.
Was there anything else?
Yeah.
I'm trying to scroll through
Too
this
much
real quick.
Oh,
I think that's
I
the most of it. Yeah, I mean, there
I do
was
want to
some-
go back right quick.
Okay.
I did watch that Willow. I didn't finish it because I, of course, on silent too. But I was like, I want to see Willow. I want to see
Yeah,
Willow.
Willow looks good.
Oh,
they also
Indiana Jones
announced-
5.
Looks still handsome. What the hell?
What was it, Chris?
Indiana Jones 5. They showed off a trailer there. Harrison Ford
Oh,
was there. A bunch of cast were there. James Mangold came and talked about it and said it was really cool getting to do that. And they showed the audience a trailer that was basically with no music and not all of the special effects done to support things. And Harrison Ford did say this time it was his last trip around as Indy.
I do have a question about that.
Didn't he also say that last time, though?
I don't
Is
know if he
Kingdom of the
actually
Crystal
did.
Skull canon still?
Yes.
Oh, Shia LaBeouf's still a thing.
Shia LaBeouf is not in this movie as far as we know.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I would hope not, but no offense, Shia LaBeouf.
And
we
John
also
Rhys
got-
Davies is back in this too.
Okay.
John Rhys
Sala.
Davies,
Yeah.
That is good news.
Gimli himself,
Sala.
sliders.
We also got, they did a new trailer for Hocus Pocus 2, which the Sanderson
Oh.
sisters are awesome. They'll be more
They don't
cool,
need-
fun.
No,
I was
doesn't need
excited to see in
anything.
the new trailer that because the first trailer just showed the Sanderson sisters. I was like, okay, duh, they're back, of course. I was more excited to see in the new trailer, Doug Jones is back, because Doug Jones is the dude that comes alive in the graveyard, and I love Doug Jones, and I want to see him get work forever because Doug Jones is amazing. They also
Guillermo del
showed-
Toro's the director. He's gonna get work.
He should. He should. They also showed the first trailer for Disenchanted, which looks super cute. We got James Marsden and Amy Adams back redoing doing the sequel to Enchanted, and so
Is
yeah,
that
they're doing.
the Netflix show?
No, it's the
No.
live action Disney movie.
You're thinking
was-
Disenchanted, what was the Graining show on
Wait, what
Netflix.
was the name of the thing you were talking about, Bachman?
The original movie was called Enchanted, where the
Oh,
girl falls through the
Disenchanted,
well.
Enchanted. Oh,
So
I
now
see
they're
it.
doing
My bad.
Disenchanted.
Yeah.
Yep. And then they're also going to be releasing a Peter Pan and Wendy. So we're getting an update to that where Captain Hook is being played by, as he calls him, the good guy is being played by Jude Law. So he's going from Dumbledore to Captain Hook. So I'll be honest, I'm just really interested to see what the hell Jude Law does as Captain Hook. Because
Okay.
like that could be very interesting. That guy's made some great acting choices over the last couple of years in the characters he's played, from like the good guy, bad guy Skrull or Kree in Captain Marvel to frickin' Dumbledore. Like Jude Law's done some really interesting work, and I'm excited to see what he's gonna do as Captain Hook, because like that's just a cool idea. And then there was also an announcement of Elio, which is the new Pixar movie, which the concept is hilarious. Or is it what? The kid basically gets teleported across the universe and gets mistaken as the galactic ambassador for Earth. Like, it just sounds hilariously for a setup for a kid's movie. And it just, yeah, I can't wait to see that, because it's going to be just more fun stuff. And we need more awesome animated films. So yeah, I'm super excited for that one. Oh, and then the one other trailer that I saw that was really cool, that was very unique and different from everything else shown so far at D23. Did you guys see the trailer for Werewolf by Night?
I have it queued up in my watch later feed on YouTube. I haven't watched it yet though.
It is very strange. It does not fit with anything else that Marvel or Disney is doing. And I don't know, I'm kind of excited just for the fact that it doesn't fit with anything else. It is a new take on an old Marvel horror comic. So Werewolf by Night was one of their horror series with, the Man Thing and the Dark Stalkers and Blade and all those, the zombie comics and stuff that they did back in the 70s. And for a while in the cartoons, I think in The Adventures of Spider-Man, it was actually J. Jonah Jameson's son who became the Werewolf by Night for a while because of the moon rock that he got when he went to the moon. But yeah, this trailer, the premise it sets up is that 7 people have been brought to a castle, and they're all supposedly supernatural hunters like Blade. They're all people that hunt and kill creatures of the night. But one of them is not what they appear to be, and one of them actually is the Werewolf by Night. And so it's 7, badass mercenaries stuck into, a haunted mansion, and one of them is going to turn into a werewolf and try to kill all the other ones.
And it's directed by Michael Giacchino, the musician who does a bunch of film scores and stuff like that, is directing this.
All right.
Did he do this Tarzan boy song?
No, he did not.
Oh,
He did do the updated Spider-Man theme. He did the updated Star Trek scores and stuff that, for instance.
Spider-Man.
But yeah, go look at go watch the Werewolf by Night trailer, because man, it looks nothing like anything else they announced, but it looks really, really unique. So it may be awful, it may be spectacular, but I don't think it's going to be anywhere in the middle. This thing looks like it is swinging for the fences, and it's either going to be exactly what you wanted from Werewolf by Night, or you're going to hate it. And so I kind of love the fact they went balls. The whole trailer is in black and white, so I don't know if the show is going to be black and white or if it's actually just done that way for the trailer. But it has the feel of like a 1970s Vincent Price movie. That's the feel they give you at the trailer, which is perfect for a Marvel horror comic book.
This is a little bit of a tangent, but you know what should be in black and white 100%? Rob Zombie's The Munsters movie. That should be in black and white. It looks so much better in black and white.
Does it?
Oh God! Have you seen the trailer yet?
Mm-mm.
Oh.
We were talking about this last night, actually with my fiance's daughter. The fact that we're getting a Rob Zombie Munsters, and then we're getting, who is it that's doing the Addams Family? Freaking
I don't know.
The series on Netflix.
Yeah,
there's a series on Netflix. I didn't know that.
Yeah, live
the
action.
Weird hair.
Luis Guzman is
weird
going to be
hair.
Gomez.
Yeah, Tim Burton.
Tim Burton.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's something about it. There's something about just the theming of the Munsters and the Addams Family where I just wish they would swap. I wish Rob Zombie was doing the Addams Family. It was actually going to be scary, and I want to see a funny Tim Burton Munsters. I don't know why, but Rob Zombie on the Munsters does not interest me, because I don't want to see Rob Zombie try to do funny. I don't know if I want to see him do funny. I
laughed at a lot of his movies. What the fuck are you talking about?
Laughing at violent shit, but that's not.
They have a lot of good stuff between that shit. You're the one in wrong side of history on this one.
I don't know. Just these two so far, I'm not interested.
Hurts being right all the time, doesn't it?
I need to see the trailers. I need to see the trailers, but I don't know. I don't know. I think I'd rather see Rob Zombie do the Addams Family and actually make him scary. I think that would be funner.
And Munsters trailer looked like poop also.
Oh, so you did see it. Yeah. Look up, see if you can see it in black and white. It makes it look so much better. I don't like the colors they went with and the look of it.
That's fair.
The whatever, it's the frame rate they have going for the movie is kind of trying to take on
off.
It looks like the TV version where it's like not soap opera effect, but kinda. Not all the way turned to it, but somewhat between. And it's it kind of supposed to mimic the Munsters show, I'm assuming, but there's also a trailer of it in black and white that someone else did, and it looks so much better. They just put a black and white filter on it, and that's all they did. They said,
that's awful.
But yeah. Sorry for the tangent. My bad.
No, you're good.
That's what we're here for.
I think we got most of it.
Yeah,
there?
that was the majority of it. There's a couple other small amounts. It's more Muppet stuff, more
Muppet.
Proud Family. The Awaje stuff looked pretty good. The collaboration with the Pan-African comic book entertainment company Kugali that's going to stream in 2023. That one looks pretty cool. Like I said, more Bad Batch, more Mandalorian. We're getting Andor. Daredevil Born Again won't begin production until 2023, but they did have Vincent D'Onofrio and Charlie Cox apparently showed up on stage to talk with Kevin Feige for a moment. So we know we have our Kingpin and our Daredevil, which at this point from that show, that's all we really need. The other cast members would be awesome, but like those were the two that were so perfectly cast out of all the Marvel Netflix stuff that if you lost them, it would have hurt any show they try to go forward with. So yeah, so Born Again, it will be amazing just because those two guys are in it. And yeah, we're getting more Pixar, we're getting more stuff. Plus, also they did say that whatever the big announcement was is actually happening today. So we don't know what apparently the one thing that Disney's been holding on to, but supposedly their biggest announcement is supposed to happen sometime this afternoon for this year's D23.
What?
Yeah, they said they were holding on to it till like the end of the show.
The actual release date of Marvel's Midnight Suns is actually this afternoon. About damn time.
Highly doubtful, but who knows? It could be anything. But yeah, there was a ton that's been out, that's been released, and yeah, I don't know. There's a whole lot of good stuff coming from Marvel and Disney. I'm excited, very excited. It's gonna be some good stuff.
Yeah,
more TV, more movies, more games. It's gonna be awesome.
Well, on that note, we did go a little long today, so we're going to try and power through and do a fairly quick little segment to close things. For those that aren't aware, we close the show each week with a segment called What I'm Into. It's our chance to share with you guys who are watching live or listening at a later date what kind of geeky and nerdy things we've been getting into, because you may want to go check them out yourselves. And we're going to power through and do it quick. So here's stuff I've been doing. Immortals Phoenix Rising hit Xbox Game Pass, so I started playing that. It was pretty fun. Why is Willie giving me that sad look?
Just keep on going. Ignore me.
Watched a bunch of NCAA football yesterday. Also watched the Obi-Wan Kenobi behind-the-scenes 1 hour long thing they put out on Disney Plus, which was interesting.
There's so many of those I want to watch.
Friday, I was able to go out and get the updated COVID booster, so that was fun. I will say that my arm has been killing me ever since then, and I was a little tired. But other than that, minimal reaction, so if you get the chance, go get the updated jab. It's based off the Omicron variant and things like that, so it's better geared towards the current versions that are out there. And then I also picked up a new game yesterday. I ended up buying it on Switch because I wanted to have it in a handheld capability to be able to play wherever I want. Cult of the Lamb. I greatly enjoy it.
I've heard of it.
My first playthrough, I hit a point where I was like, oh, I did not use much strategy to how I was building out my skills. And all of my minions have revolted against me because I got to a point where I was getting my ass kicked in combat, and every time you die, they lose faith in you. So I pretty much had to butcher all of my minions because they were turning on me and had no faith. Bastards.
Fuck them.
For those that aren't aware, Cult of the Lamb is basically like a mix of a roguelike game and a city builder / sim game.
It's Binding of Isaac with some extra steps.
Effectively. Or Hades with some extra steps.
Sure.
Yeah, we'll go with that. So, and that's what I've been getting into. And this afternoon is the return. Well, right now, actually, is the return of NFL football. So I'll be watching NFL Red Zone most of the afternoon. That's what I've been getting into and what I will be getting into the rest of today. Mr. Willie Nelson, why don't you take it away?
I decided to start stretching out that new Game Pass type thing from PlayStation Plus. I downloaded a bunch of stuff, tried a bunch of stuff. Some stuff has stick, some stuff it hasn't. I've tried Kingdom, Two Crowns, which is a sequel to a game. I'm not sure. I didn't really look up too much. I just know it's side-scrolling. You're on a horse and you're building up your kingdom and trying to stop these monsters called the Greed. That's pretty much that's pretty much all that game is. It's very nice, chill. The pixel graphics look, oh my god, there's a reflection on the bottom third of the screen because there's always water down there, and it's reflecting pixel art, and it's so gorgeous. I don't understand how they did that shit. The coding that must have went into it. God damn the algorithm. Anyway, I also had tried just last night my time at Portia. I think it's what it's called. And that's pretty much like a Animal Crossing type game, but it is more like Harvest Moon. I'm thinking. It feels more like Harvest Moon. And I'm just making stuff to create stuff to get money, but because I'm the new builder and I build things, and here's stuff I built. Take it, money. I've only tried it for a while, so that's all I got. And there's some fighting in it too. It's weird. And let me see. Whoa, still playing Yakuza 3. Still a great game. Oh my God, what else did I play? Oh yeah, the biggest one. Everybody's Golf. I played it 5 years ago when I first got it and promptly forgot about it.
Been there.
And now I'm playing it again. And it's like it's just a nice chill arcadey golf game, and I fucking love it. Everybody's Golf is like a long running series in America too, but it went by a different name until this game. It was called Hot Shots Golf, but it was always called Everybody's Golf in Japan, and I think Europe too. And they just said, "Fuck it, we're calling it by its original name. Who cares?" Finally, when are they just going to learn that? Just call it by what it's called. Names don't change. My name isn't. It's still Willie in fucking China. It doesn't change. Stupid.
No, your name is Willie.
Is banned in China.
Not Willie.
If my name was Winnie, then yes, it would be banned in China, wouldn't it?
Winnie the Willie.
Winnie the Willie.
Willie the Winnie.
Billy the Pooh.
I like that one.
I fucking hate all of you. I'm gonna keep on going for 20 more minutes with a filibuster because fuck you, Chris.
Right click, remove from call.
Everybody's Golf. I also have been playing a shit ton of golf with your friends because that's just a fun ass game. I'm actually playing with friends. If you haven't tried that with a bunch of friends, you're fucking wrong. Bachman should know that because I play with Jana, and Jana's amazing fun with it. I know she has it. Try it. Try it, Bachman. Try it. No, you're over there. Fuck, I keep forgetting.
Why
anyway,
is he so mad?
I don't know.
There's something. I'm going through the list. Yeah, I have a. You know what? Let's just end it there.
All right, Bachman, finish it up for us then.
So I watched the first couple of episodes of the new season of What We Do in the Shadows, which is pretty funny. The baby version of the one character is really creepy. Watched all of Shorzy. Once my Hulu stopped acting weird, where for some damn reason the Hulu app was putting a commercial break between every single scene. It was the most annoying shit ever.
So it wasn't supposed to be like that?
No, I think it was an actual glitch. Because, yeah, I watched the first episode of Shorzy, and I think I had 18 commercial breaks. It was insane. Ugh. And so then I was like, this is awful. Like, I can't watch this crap. And then let it, like, reset, re-update, whatever on the Roku. And 2 days later, watch the next episode. I was like, okay, wait, that was better. And then I kept watching and got all the way through. And, yeah, it was back to where, like, 4 or 5 scenes would happen, and then you would have a commercial break. Not a scene, and then commercial break, and then a scene, and then commercial. It was so awful when that happened. But no, super funny. Really good show. I really thought it was really entertaining. I still think Letterkenny's better, but like for a spinoff show, it was really funny with what they were able to do with that one stupid character that used to yell from bathrooms. Like the fact that they got a season out of it is pretty good writing on Jared Kelso and the crew's part, because like what they did with it was funny. It was entertaining. I had a couple of really good laughs. Some of the scenes were great. You know,
would you like a martini there, Bachman?
The martinis are unbelievable.
Well, that's that one.
All I know is if you can't win, don't play. So, yeah.
It's not that I like winning. It's that I hate losing.
I hate losing. Yeah. Shorzy is really funny. Yeah. If you ever enjoyed Letterkenny, like it's funny to see, Jared Kelso do the whole Shorzy character for an entire show.
He should be hilarious
for that. He could probably do himself a mean ass Wolverine. They'd have to dye his facial hair though, since now we know it's all red when he grows his beard out.
I'm all right with that.
No, Wolverine can't have red.
He's not too tall. He's already built, and he's Canadian. What more do you need?
And he can fight on camera. That's one of the things.
He's a better Wolverine than Hugh Jackman. Fight me. Fight me. 3 things are going to happen.
We'll see. But yeah, funny, entertaining show. Last night we watched Elvis, the new Baz Luhrmann. I can at least say it's my favorite Baz Luhrmann movie. So it's better than Moulin Rouge and that crappy remake he did of Romeo and Juliet.
Rouge is awesome.
Wait, was that the Romeo plus Juliet? That was like
where the guns were called by the sword company. Yeah, that was.
Or it was like Leonardo DiCaprio. That one.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And John Leguizamo was in that one too.
Yeah, and then he did that crappy Gatsby movie. But yeah.
Was that bad?
It wasn't good.
No, I never watched it.
Yeah, it was just
curious.
But yeah, the Elvis movie is great. The kid Butler that plays Elvis Presley is impressive as hell as Elvis. Tom Hanks is creepy as shit as the Colonel. Like, by the end of the movie, you dislike Tom Hanks. That's how good of an acting job he does. You don't like him as a person by the end of it. Like, it's really good. And then it's funny to think also this weekend they released the new Pinocchio where Tom Hanks plays Geppetto. So I'm kind of wondering if at the end of the season in the Oscars, if Tom Hanks is going to be going against himself for Best Supporting Actor, if it's going to be the Colonel versus Geppetto, which
Neither
would be
one.
hilarious. I wouldn't doubt
Neither
him
one are going to be nominated.
It's Tom Hanks. I wouldn't doubt him being nominated for both. And he's
Fair
Tom
enough.
Hanks. He's amazing. Yeah, the Elvis movie's solid. It's really good. Of course, big shocker. The music in it's really good. Like,
You remember when
nobody saw that coming?
Remember when Tom Hanks met Elvis in Forrest Gump? It
I
wasn't
don't
Tom
remember
Hanks.
the
It was the
scene.
kid version.
No.
He was
Oh,
doing the dance.
yeah, with his crooked legs.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Yeah,
yeah,
Tom Hanks.
watch that. It was a good one. And then there was something else that came out that I watched. Now I can't think of it. Oh, we started the first 2 episodes, I think, of the new Cobra Kai, season 5. And yeah, still continues to be like the best spin-off of an 80s property that's ever existed, probably ever will exist. Anything that's ever redone again is going to be compared to Cobra Kai and probably will fall short because damn, that show's good. And then I also finished Uncharted 1, started Uncharted 2. So I wanted to see the actual like jump in the game. So as soon as I finished Uncharted 1, I fired up the second game, played like the first sequence. And yeah, just like the train collapsing sequence, the controls are 100% better. And so just be able to like move the character around, like it felt so much better. Just the game controls themselves. You know, the storyline of the first one was fun. The controls in 2 sequences were awful. Like the end fight was not fantastic.
Yeah, I
the jet
give you
ski
that.
was garbage. But the storyline they told in the first game was interesting. I did not see weird ass vampires coming out, and like I did not know that was going to be happening. So that was pretty cool.
Spoilers for a game
Yeah.
that came out over 10
Yeah. Over
15
almost 15 years ago. Yeah.
Mhm.
So huge spoilers. Weird, like, yeah, zombie vampire critter things. But yeah, that part was very interesting. And then, of course, now I got into the second chapter of Uncharted 2. So I'm trying to sneak through the museum during the flashback sequence. So, of course, yeah, all stealth missions suck. Because, yeah, when you make a noise or something and it turns to the guard's perspective, and they literally can't see anything, but you just died and have to start over.
Yeah.
I love those game mechanics when they're really well done. But yeah,
I think that one moment is like the jet ski of that game.
yeah, it seems like it so far. But like the ability to like sneak up behind people, attack them, and knock them out, like at least that's fairly well done. The controls are better. So yeah, I'm already enjoying it way more. So yeah, I'm looking forward to playing throughout the rest of it. But yeah, I've only done like the first 10 minutes so far, but it is a really enjoyable game. And that's pretty much it. Oh, and then I did read an article where I guess there's 2 rumors going back and forth that I don't know how much of it's confirmed and how much of it's just a rumor talking about a rumor. But I guess there's rumors of a new Nightmare on Elm Street coming at some point because the Wes Craven family estate has gotten the rights back. And so they're looking at shopping around and doing another Nightmare on Elm Street, which we saw what happened last time. You know, fell really short. Jackie Earle Haley's an amazing actor, but he's not Robert Englund. And so apparently they were already talking to certain actors to see who would be like interested. One of those rumors was an actor that got his start in a slasher film from the 80s in the first Friday the 13th movie. Has one of the best kills ever where has sex, smokes a joint, and then an arrow comes out through his throat and he dies. And went on to be a huge superstar. And the rumors about that actor playing the character made it around Hollywood and got back to Robert Englund. And apparently Robert Englund has been quoted in an interview saying, you know what? I think it'd be pretty cool to see Kevin Bacon play Freddy Krueger. And so that's the rumor mill right now, is that they're in talks to get Kevin Bacon to play Freddy. And hell, I'll at least see it. I would pay to see that in a theater. I don't know if it'll be good or not, because, you know, the last one was kind of disappointing, but hell, I would pay to see Kevin Bacon play Freddy. The guy that got his career started in the first Friday the 13th movie and then ends up playing Freddy Krueger.
Did that really
could be kinda
give him
cool.
his career?
It's his first movie. Kevin Bacon's
Enough.
Johnny Depp started in Nightmare on Elm Street 1. Kevin Bacon started in Friday the 13th Part 1. Without those movies, we lose 2 giant movie stars. They may have never made it. And yeah, Johnny Depp needs to remember the only reason he has a career is because of Wes Craven's daughter and her friend. During the casting, there was like 3 or 4 guys that were up for the role. And Wes Craven apparently asked his teenage daughter, and they're like, "Oh yeah, Johnny, Dad, you have to cast Johnny. He's the guy." And that's how he became Glenn. But yeah, I don't know. It was an exciting rumor to hear. So the idea that Robert Englund was actually asked like who he would want to play the character, and then heard about the rumor and was excited to hear like the idea. He thinks, because he's publicly stated again, he's never getting back in the makeup. So we can't get Robert Englund back in there. Plus the man's in his like 70s at this point. Trying to sit in 6 hours of prosthetic makeup is probably not fun. It probably wasn't fun when he was doing it last time he did it. But so far, no one's been able to get the presence on screen with Freddy Krueger that Robert Englund was able to do. Kevin Bacon's a hell of an actor, and he's had a lot of turns as good guys and bad guys. He's played some cool villains.
What do you mean no one else has been able to? There's only been one other person who tried.
No, there's multiple people that tried. After the first movie, Robert Englund wanted more money, and they brought in a bunch of people to try to replace him. At one point, there was literally a stunt guy walking around in full costume on the set of Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge, and they were not going to bring Robert Englund back.
Fair
They
enough.
tried to replace him. Yeah. No, only one time
I
has
know
it
what you
been,
meant.
in another film. But no, they tried to replace him, and apparently just no one can do what that guy can do.
Yeah, that was
You put
my
a glove on him.
misunderstanding.
He's got that walk. He's got that attitude. There's something that Robert Englund does when you put the prosthetic on and put the hat and the glove. He becomes that guy in a creepy way that no one else has been able to even mimic very well. But yeah, so I don't know. It's an interesting rumor. I don't know. Might never come to nothing. But if it does, man, Kevin Bacon as Freddy Krueger. That's a strange one. But I would pay to see it in the theater. But yeah, I've been just hunting that rumor down. That's what I've been getting into.
Well, cool. On that note, though, we are going to shut things down. Friendly reminder before we do stream this show right now live every Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, over at www.geeks.live. If you're there right now, you can scroll down to the bottom of the page, see a calendar of all of our upcoming live events. Also, please keep in mind, if you want to hang out with us on Discord, we do have our own channel on the Gonna Geek Network Discord. You can join that by going to gonnageek.com/discord. Feel free to shoot us some stuff there if you want us to talk about some specific news or you have issue with something we may have said. Feel free. That's the place to do it. Before we shut this thing down, you guys have any final thoughts for the people?
Ban people, not books.
Yeah, okay, I can live with that.
Fair enough. Yeah, read
I'm okay
banned
with
books.
this. Yeah, read banned books. On that note, we are going to be shutting things down. Thank you so much for sticking with us for this extended episode of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast, and we will see you all next week. Bye, guys. Thanks for listening to this brand new episode of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. Don't forget, we'll be back next Sunday live at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central over at live.atgnpodcast.com, channel 3 of the Alpha Geek Radio app, and over at our network home at gonnageek.com/live. If you have any feedback for the show, please contact us atgnpodcast@gonnageek.com, on our hotline number at 304-806-ATGN, or even better, go to Twitter and send us a message at ATGN Podcast. The music you've heard in this show is produced by Kevin MacLeod and can be found at incompetech.com.